Okay, I'm calling him now. Wait, I gotta fix my settings though. I think probably.
Hasan, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, DJ Akademiks?
Chilling, man. The way you said my name, I could already tell. What's going on?
Well, what's going on is justice was served on this day for once. I think in a criminal court case that you and I have both been paying attention to, but been drawing very different outcomes out of.
Well, I'll say this. I was gonna, and I said this before starting out today. I was gonna be under the agreement that justice was served despite what the ruling was. So even if it was the other way, if we're gonna believe in the system.
Wait, fuck! I can't hear you again. God damn it! This is a Discord bug. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect again. You said you were under the agreement that justice was gonna be served. I know my chat could hear you, but I couldn't. 1 second. Hello.
Okay, yeah. Could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So from the onset of today and just the beginning, I said, listen, I'm believing in whatever the jury. We got to go with what the jury says. And if it, again, we're all human, so taking in certain information, you may lean one way or the other, but respecting the system. If you don't respect the system, it's like, why even go through this process, right? So I thought it was going to go differently, but definitely I respect the.
Why do you think it was going to go differently? Let's talk about that, because it seems like I don't know if you were also involved in the immediately tweeting that Tory Lanez found innocent yesterday. A group of people. I don't think you were. Were you one of those people as well? You tweeted that as well?
No, sir. I'm a little smarter than that.
Yeah. Even though No Jumper did it, Rap TV did it, a bunch of other accounts did it, and to me, Rap TV is infallible. You know what I mean? These guys are at the cutting edge of news in general. Okay, so that was a turning moment for me. It truly saddened me to see Rap TV fall so far from grace.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't have tweeted that because, again, we've been covering it I've never streamed this much. This is my most streamed month ever. So I'm doing about 8, I know you do it pretty regularly, but 8 to 9 hours a day. And the last thing we had covered was that, hey, the jury won't deliberate until after lunch. And when that screenshot came out of, oh, no, this is what the result is, that result was before lunch was even over. So I just knew it was impossible. You know what I mean? So, I on one of I would say the better moments for me, despite some of these people who I do respect, I chose to kind of wait up, and we quickly found out now.
Yeah. I mean, they all had to delete their tweets, but regardless, but the reason why I was looping you in with the rest of the people covering this is because it did come across like you were, I would say, a little bit on Tory Lanez' side. It does seem like that, right? I mean, you definitely thought that he was, I guess, innocent. Is that what it is? I mean, you were a little biased, which I think you admitted as well.
So let me address this, right? Being on Tory Lanez's side and then almost seeing information that you believe that's being presented from a whole bunch of different sources that you now fall one way or the other. I don't think we're picking sides like, oh, this is my guy, here's my side. You start to gain a belief. Now, granted, I'm not like Reuters or something like that, who is going to be like, they're supposed to. Reuters and AP, if they're delivering news or delivering information, hey, just be completely just neutral, just say it and just get out of the way. I'm a person, so definitely if I'm hearing a bunch of things or a bunch of information that might question it, and also I'll say this, I've always said this, and I said this about 20 times before the verdict came down. This is when we heard that there was a verdict. And I said, listen, there's a lot of new people. There's because I multi-stream now. And I'm like, yo, there's so many new people to my stream at this moment. I said, if you guys are looking forward to find out if Tory Lanez shot Meg, you probably won't. This is only about if he will be found guilty on these charges.
So you actually don't think Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion on the foot? Even regardless of the jury's decision.
Okay, so I don't think, regardless if he was found innocent, I don't think the true story of that night will be told. Don't think so. I'll tell you. You want me to tell you what? I'll tell you what.
Okay. Let's just talk about our theories then, because my theory is, there's an altercation. Megan Thee Stallion gets out of the car. Tory Lanez,
altercation.
Yeah. Like
You
there's a back and forth. Like there's a back and forth. The vibes are off. Okay.
So,
and I think that Megan Thee Stallion says some things that are hurtful to Tory Lanez. He's drunk. He's he seems to have a short fuse.
Okay.
He pulls out and he starts shooting in her direction, not actually intending to shoot her in the foot, and then accidentally, either due to ricochet or directly shooting her on accident in the foot, ends up shooting her in her feet. Okay, then I think Kelsey also tries to intercept and has her hair pulled, and I think there was a fight between her and Tory Lanez as well. Now it's not like Tory Lanez is a very big dude, you know what I mean? So
hold on. So again, I know people are gonna accuse me of it feels like you had a side. I've always had a side of saying, hey, listen, when I start seeing, for example, the whole narrative Tory did it, then when I started having some skepticism when there was reports that there was gunpowder residue found on
both of them. Yeah,
right?
On both Kelsey and Tory Lanez. Yeah, that's true.
Then apparently there was a fight between Kelsey and Meg that might be centered around a man. Now, here's the point. I'm going to go off what you just said, because that's what the prosecutor was saying. By the way, again, I'm not sitting here saying I do not accept what the jury has said, but we're going to just talk about narrative. And again, you're a very smart person. And
I want to know what your assumption of what that night is, because we're both working off of assumptions.
No, you're right. But I'm going to ask you about the assumption that you just said. Do you really think that in any situation, or maybe do you know anyone that if they were insulted about their music, they would just pull out a gun and shoot someone?
No, but I also don't think that, do you think Tory Lanez pulled up on Dax after he, he did pull up on him, but do you think he threatened Dax a couple years back when he had a song about him, when he dissed him?
Yes, but that's a whole different situation. But yes, I'm following.
Well, the reason why I bring that up is because I feel like he has a short fuse, if you will, and maybe he was drunk and felt insecure.
Pulling up on Dax, right? Versus a woman saying your music sucks and you pulling out a gun. And even though we both agree that Tory is probably smaller than Meg, your first line
that is true.
Your first line of after you're offended is to shoot her. I'm asking you, Hasan, okay? Do you think that if you were on the jury and that's the only story that you could hear on why he shot her, would you be like, well, makes sense?
Yeah, I think they had a scuffle in the car. They had an altercation in the car. He was drunk and he came out and he shot in the vicinity, not realize. I think he wanted to put the fear of God in her and reacted in an insane way. But yeah, I do think that. I think that he got out of the car and shot at her.
And,
yes.
And this is where some of the some of these details might elude you because I'm not too sure how closely you've been paying attention to it. Go back to Megan Thee Stallion's Gayle King interview. She said she did not put hands on anybody that night, which would have meant that she did not physically put hands on Kelsey or Tory that night. So now, if I'm going by that theory, she insults his music and he says, fuck this, I'm shooting you. That's a little bit hard to believe. Okay? Granted, there's a witness that came afterwards that said, hey, I saw two women fighting in the streets. Granted, there's a witness who was one of her former best friends, the hairstylist, who said, in reality, there was some jealousy things and she was a little bit aggressive at the pool party before that the prosecutor neglected to say. Now, granted, I'm not saying that Tory couldn't have done it. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that if I'm going only with the narrative that you're saying, bro, you don't know anyone. If I told you right now, we're all chilling.
I can address the witness take at least. I can't speak on the hairstylist's testimony, but as far as the witness goes, the reason why the witness testimony was not exactly the best testimony is not because it made Megan Thee Stallion's case look worse, but because he originally gave inconsistent testimony when the investigation was being conducted. The witness originally said that he actually woke up to gunshots, which is significantly more believable, I would say, than just being aware of an altercation happening outside and like being awake and watching it. So that is the reason why that testimony was inconclusive and pretty much unusable. You could say that is, you could say that is enough for reasonable doubt, but unfortunately, the jury, for people who believe in Tory's side, the jury didn't see it that way because, like I said he woke up to gunshots, so he could not have actually conclusively seen who was fighting who or who was the one who was shooting.
And granted, I'm going to preface every single time I talk about this, I'm accepting of what the jury has said. But if I go off your own logic, right? If we're talking about inconsistent testimonies or statements, because you are right. You're right. By the way,
yeah, Megan Thee Stallion said she stepped on glass. If that's what you're gonna say, is that what you're gonna say?
Glass, same fuck Tory, a bunch of different things that would have basically said there would be no different. The only
but we have additional evidence, right? Like Megan Thee Stallion didn't actually step on glass. She actually did get shot. You believe that, right?
No, yeah, but according to her, hold on, according to her, she stepped on glass. Then she said Tory offered her money. Something that's just unsubstantiated. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're trying to call one person unreliable for their stories being all over,
well, because the other party is completely unrelated. They're like a random bystander, right? Witness testimony can be shaky in a lot of instances. That's why you have to take a look. That's why you have to assess every single thing that they've said when conducting a criminal investigation. So when the witness originally says, I woke up the gunshots, but then says, no, actually, I was awake and I saw the gunshots being fired when called in the question, then you're going to assume that the witness is not giving you enough evidence to suggest that he actually saw it. Now, wait, hold on. With respect to Megan Thee Stallion originally saying to the cops that she actually stepped on glass, well, we know what the truth is. We know that she was shot, and she said at the time that the reason why she lied to the police originally was to ensure that even though Tory Lanez had done this thing to her, that she wanted to defend him. She wanted to make sure that he wasn't a victim of police brutality.
By the way, none of this was captured in the initial police report at all. They asked the detective, who was, by the way, on administrative leave, why didn't you write any of this thing down? Why didn't you write any of this down that, hey, you were worried about police killing black people? It was never mentioned to the detective.
I mean, that's not something you're like gonna, I mean, it's not necessarily something you're gonna have a conversation with the cops about. Like, what do you mean?
No. Well, so let me jog your memory. The police talked to Meg that night. She says, even outside of the presence of Tory, I stepped on glass, right? Remember, the narrative is, I didn't want to say exactly what happened. I didn't want black men to get killed. Okay, cool. She talked to the police 4 days later. She still didn't mention that. You get what I mean? So again, there's her story about, hey, I was worried about black men being killed, isn't a narrative that we even hear about till later on, 2 months later, till she's on Instagram Live exposing Tory. That's all I'm saying. You get what I mean? Also,
yeah, because a criminal investigation is filed at that point, and like a criminal investigation is being conducted, so it's over anyway. There's no way that she can protect Tory Lanez from going to jail, because a lot of people misunderstand and assume that this was like somehow a civil case or something, or maybe they don't understand how criminal trials work. But this was the state of California against Tory Lanez for the illegal action of possession of weapon and also firing at Megan Thee Stallion.
Right now.
What?
Hasan, I'm black, and it's not about even color, but let's think about anyone who's in a position of being scared. The police pull up. I am scared for whatever reason. I don't want to tell them the truth. Okay, would you assume that if I got to a place where I am now pretty much safe, or if a couple days later, where remember, I'm saying I'm not telling the truth because I don't want the police to do something to someone else. 4 days later, where the police cannot do anything to them, if that's the only reason why I didn't tell them the truth, you don't believe that I would tell them the truth 4 days later? Or do you still think I'm thinking about, oh, the police might kill you? It's 4 days.
Well, I think at the time, regardless of what color your skin is, I think you just don't want to rock the boat, right? Like there could be an additional reason as you saw, the overwhelming sea of negative attention on this case directed to Megan Thee Stallion for the crime of what? Being fucking shot. She might not have even wanted to fucking come out about this at all, considering the negative interactions that she was going to have that she foresaw. I mean, she has talked regularly about how relentlessly and mercilessly she's been bullied for things that are completely outside of her control. Like she got shot in the foot. I don't think she's I think she's a victim in this circumstance.
I agree. I agree with you with that last part. Except we're talking about if we could actually attest to the veracity of someone's statement, given the fact that they've been consistent. I'm trying to tell you that her inconsistency and what her reason was for inconsistency does not actually hold water. She says, I didn't tell the truth because I thought that, it was around the time police were killing black people. Well, you talk to the cops 4 days later, there was no black people that the police could have killed. You still didn't tell the truth.
I know. I'm saying that it's multi-layered. Like it's not just that, but it's also, like I said, not wanting to rock the boat as a fucking as a talented artist who is, who at the time her career was like taking off.
Okay, and I agree with you.
And she was right, by the way. She did get fucking ass blasted nonstop by every motherfucker on the internet who was like, "Oh, everyone was so quick to victim blame in this circumstance."
Wait. So we're gonna act like she didn't win the most awards we've ever seen her win in her whole career?
No, I think she is. She is very talented and she is popping off. But let's be real. I mean, throughout the duration of this trial, everybody basically turned her out to be the villain of the story for falsely accusing Tory Lanez. That is what everyone said. I mean, you have inferred it. Your title right now is Meg lying ? So like a lot of people who got their notes felt a little confused at the end of this verdict. They literally were like, how the fuck did this happen? Because they were so looking at this from a one-sided perspective.
Do you think I'm in the majority? And also, if that was the case, Tory wouldn't be crying about getting blackballed. If the majority was on the side that no, Meg's lying and it's just all about Tory wouldn't be getting his music completely blackballed for the last 2 years, except for the last couple months. His last couple months, they started love.
He's not. I can't speak on Tory's music career because I'm not necessarily too fond of his music. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh man, he's great. Like I feel like he had some hits in 2016, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean?
In the hip hop community, he's a very popular artist that works with everyone. His career definitely took a turn and suffered because of lack of support from DSPs, from festivals that didn't want to put him on it. And again, my whole thing was this, right? And
is he?
No, he did.
Is he like he's like a poppin' artist? Like a lot of people like him. I mean, I'll take your word for it. If you want to go on the record and say like Tory Lanez is a very well respected and very popular and talented musician, like I'll if you believe that, then sure.
No, he definitely is. But also, okay, so we have to also remember history. He just got out of the quarantine radio thing, the most popular thing on social media during a time where the music industry is pretty much shut down. They can't have no shows. There's no shows. Even Rolling Loud, we're having digital shows. He was just in his penthouse with 300,000 people nightly. He was one of the most popular people at that time. He was on one of the biggest songs with Jack Harlow, had some of the best streaming numbers at that moment. Then this happens, and trust me, no one fucked with him. Again, we could argue about if how great of an artist you think he is. I'm just trying to say he definitely suffered from it. What do you think about?
I didn't realize that. This is new information for me. I did not think that Tory Lanez was popping like that. But
okay, so let me ask you a question. And really, this is where all my opinions come down to. It's not a Tory Lanez thing. I hate to make it just man and woman, but okay, let's follow the mold here. If a man is accused of doing something to a woman and they vehemently deny, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is sort of, room for doubt, right? And again, this is now a criminal thing, which means that this is going to get litigated at some point or another.
Well, it's a criminal thing because gunshots were fired, and Kelsey at the time also corroborated Megan Thee Stallion's testimony, saying that it was Tory Lanez who shot Megan Thee Stallion. So remember, that's a very important piece of the puzzle that we're completely forgetting to cover here. It's not like the criminal. Look,
busting right now. I'm just talking in general. It doesn't matter. Like we granted, gunshots or not. I'm asking you, male and female. A male's accused of doing something to a woman, right? By the way, I think it's different the opposite way around. Currently, if a woman is accused of doing something to a dude, and especially if it's not proven yet, there's no punitive action, especially by the industry that she's in and the DSPs that she rely on and the entities that surround her career that's going to say, fuck you, we are blackballing you until,
are there examples of this? I can't speak on this. I feel like maybe you have some examples of this, but I don't know.
Have you ever heard of Blueface and 𝗕𝗓𝗪? Like, we've seen her basically give him 2 black eyes. You know what I mean?
Bro, what career does 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗡 have? Let's be real. Like, yeah, Blueface is absolutely a victim of domestic abuse. And it's not like, who the fuck is rocking with her, though?
All of the blogs. Hold on. All of the blogs, the Shade Room, this and third. She has a very poppin' reality show on Zeus. Hold on. She has a very poppin' reality show on Zeus Network that basically just hypes up and showcases her beating up her boyfriend.
I think that's fucked up. Don't misunderstand me. But in that circumstance, she is the perpetrator, and the fact that she is not getting any sort of criminal consequences sent her way is most likely yet another instance of like police in general, one, not giving a fuck about black people in general, and two, also on top of that, notoriously being bad at dealing with domestic abuse cases.
And by the way, like,
but I have no idea what the fuck the Zeus. I mean, I don't know what the fuck the Zeus Network is or the blogosphere that you're talking about. All I know is that for most normies, it's like
Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. What about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard?
I mean, that was litigated and Johnny Depp won the court case. What do you mean?
But what about until he won it? That's the only thing. In hip hop, Tory Lanez was a black sheep. Listen, I'm telling you now, I have no problem if people want to just completely boycott him. It has been litigated in a court of law and a jury has made their decision. What I'm saying is that allegations, and I'm still trying to ask you the question. If a situation between a man and a woman, doesn't matter which man and which woman, happens, right? We obviously know certain things are very sensitive matters because we obviously got to protect our women. But if there's an allegation that a man completely and vehemently denies, and now he's being accused of some shit, and he's a public figure, she might be a public figure too, what do you think the appropriate course of action is for all the
I have a question for you. What would it have taken for you to say Tory Lanez conclusively shot Megan Thee Stallion? Because, like, as far as, like, shooting cases goes, as far as, like, when there's a victim that was there that survived the attack, and then there is a perpetrator that 2 of the, involved parties said was responsible for the shooting, when that's pretty open and shut. Like, I'm not exactly a big fan of the criminal justice system, especially as it pertains to dealing with black people. But having said that, what would it have taken for you?
Hasan, you're not answering my questions, and this is why you're so good at what you do, right?
No, because we're talking about unrelated things about, like, you're turning this into a man and woman thing when it's not a man and woman thing, because there is a responsible party and we're not looking at the facts of this individual court case.
Hey, how could I have I wasn't there. How the fuck could I have known? How could I have known? He said I didn't shoot the gun.
Well, you look at the additional evidence. You look at the witness testimony at the time. You look at the events that transpired at the time. You are unfortunately putting the cart before the horse and, like, thinking about the consequences.
Hasan, let me interject. That's why everybody was upset, because at that point in time, everybody wanted it to just read that, yo, this guy did it. There's nothing else. Then you could go back to it. Go on TMZ, type, hey, the GSR report says there was gunpowder residue found on both Tory and the girl.
Yeah, I agree. I know. I'm familiar. Yes, GSR residue also, according to experts.
I'm not done. Go back and then say there was an independent witness that said they seen a muzzle flash in front of a woman. Granted, if you see both things, keep in mind, we're not at the point of litigating at that point. Are you still just going to be going with this woke agenda that, these dudes...
I mean, I don't think it's woke agenda I don't think it's a woke agenda thing. I think when...
He must have did it. He got a dick, he must have did it. Because right now...
No, that's not... No. You're trying to put me in a box here, and I disagree with that. I think that if roles were reversed and Megan Thee Stallion had shot Tory Lanez in the foot, and Tory Lanez is a tiny little guy, so, and Megan Thee Stallion overpowered Tory Lanez, shot him in the foot, and he, as the victim in that circumstance, turned around and said, Megan Thee Stallion shot me, okay? And the third party involved also said that originally when it first came out, because that was the actual information that we had before a third party witness that was unrelated and uninvolved in the situation decided to give inconclusive testimony. I would have said the exact same things that I'm saying now. I would have said, it seems to me like Tory Lanez was shot in the foot by Megan Thee Stallion. But that's not what happened. What happened is the exact opposite of that. Like, this is not a man versus woman thing, no matter how hard we try to, massage it. I look at the facts of a situation. Obviously, there are, systemic forms of discrimination in every instance. It's, unavoidable. It's impossible to escape. But in this circumstance, I'm looking at the evidence, and it seems like the victim's testimony was corroborated by the other witness and also victim.
Hasan, you are like you gotta be virtue signaling to the highest, my guy.
Bro, what do you mean? I feel like a woman got shot in the fucking foot, and she said, this dude shot me, and that's virtue signaling that I'm repeating that?
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you why it's virtue signaling, because
that's crazy, bro. Come on.
Let's go with one of the biggest themes that people always bring up. Okay. Believe women, especially black women, and I agree with that. We believe women and black women.
It doesn't seem like you agree with that much, at least right now. Come on.
No, I do. Okay, but here's the thing. So if I'm believing Megan Thee Stallion, she first told me, I stepped on glass. Oh, I believe you. You stepped on glass. Then she says, no, I didn't.
One of your mods banned me from the chat.
No, did they?
Yeah.
I know you hate this guy, but could we bring my man Myron in? He's been filing this case with me the whole time. And he's been very in tune with all the
sure. If you want to bring him in, we can have that conversation with him as well.
Wait. How do I don't know how to add people, brother. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. I did a group thingy. How does this work?
So you need backup? I thought we were having a normal conversation.
No, because we're going over facts and also narrative.
Now you're bringing a Fed involved? God damn, dude.
Hasan, I ain't gonna lie.
Is he not? Is he not a Fed? I thought he was, but
Hasan, you virtue signaling crazy. I'm with you on.
Come on, that's an exit ramp for you to say virtue signaling. It's just like, you care about women so much. You're virtue signaling. Like, no, I'm just looking at the situation. Like, someone got shot. They said someone got shot. They said this person shot me. I'm like, okay, it seems like that could be true.
This would be a crazy conversation, right? Hold on.
What's going on? Cool. Hello?
Anyway, okay. Here's the point I'm trying to say. You hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay. Here's the point I'm trying to say, brother. No, it would be different if I was sitting here like fucking punching in the air. Like, I'm not accepting the fucking verdict. I am. It's accepted. All I'm trying to say to you.
You keep saying I'm also virtue signaling. I'm in the wrong, all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
you're throwing these things in the air to say, well, why didn't you know that he was guilty from the get-go? And I'm like,
no. I said, okay. I said, when someone is shot, regardless of whether they're a man or a woman, okay, and they survive the shooting and they turn around and say, this person shot me, I'm not immediately going to be like, I don't know. I feel like they're lying. Like, what the fuck? She got bullet fragments in her feet.
Hey, hold on. I didn't say she didn't get shot. I don't know by who.
Okay, I understand. But you're not hearing me. I'm saying she got shot and she said, this person shot me. Okay,
and then she said, I did not see him. My back was turned.
No, she also said she did see him. She literally turned her neck around in her testimony enough to be able to see who was shooting at her.
Okay, all right.
She also said the dance bitch line too.
Nobody, even her best friend, never even heard that line.
Okay, but it doesn't matter because her best friend also, literally, the more important part of this conversation is her best friend also originally in the actual testimony, the 911 calls, in every single circumstance, said that it was Tory Lanez who shot Megan Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez also apologized to every single person involved. Now, he's Canadian, so maybe that's the reason why he apologized. Canadians love apologizing. But ultimately, it does seem a little suspicious when everyone is saying that everyone involved originally in the immediate aftermath is saying this person shot this person, okay?
So, all right, okay, so as it relates to that, let me ask you this question.
So why do you think Kelsey said Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion and then pled the fifth this time around a year later?
Okay, so why do you think that listen, she said that when she wasn't under oath. Why do you think when she was under oath, she said, I never saw Tory shoot anyone or saw Tory with the gun? You're using when she's not under oath. I'm using when she could actually be charged with perjury. So who got the upper hand here?
Wait, so you're saying she lied you're suspecting that she lied originally to the not the prosecutors, but the investigators.
Well, it was actually the prosecutors because they only did that interview that we're talking about was done in September, directly to the problem.
So you can't do that though. That's still you still can't lie to the prosecutors in that regard.
Said, hey, you guys made me feel uncomfortable.
Like that's still illegal.
She was hinting towards, hey, I was under duress.
Okay, but she also said Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion. So you're like, you're desperately grabbing on to her hinting at things while simultaneously completely writing off all the shit that she did say.
So you're telling me that you are going to take the interview over the phone, right? Way more serious than her testimony under oath in person in court.
Also, she never said she doesn't know. I'm pretty sure she said that she's pleading the fifth and that she didn't want to answer.
No. She pled the fifth anytime it was a conversation about how did you guys, was there a fight before the shots were fired? And she said what I believe the driver is going to say. Hey, I never saw Tory with the gun. This is what she said. Definitely, 100%. I never saw Tory with a gun, and I never seen him fire the shot.
Wait.
And then at first she said, I was unsure that he was shot, but later I realized she was shot.
Okay, this is precisely the reason why I asked you what your speculation is, because like I need to understand like what you thought happened, because I gave you what I think happened, right? Like there was a scuffle, there was an altercation, right? And then like Tory Lanez popped off, has a short fuse, didn't actually intend to fucking shoot Megan Thee Stallion, accidentally did, you know. Little guy, big gun for him at least, you know, hard to fucking control, and he's drunk. So then, what is your take? Like, do you think there's a third shooter? Are we talking like JFK Grassy Knoll situation? Like, what the fuck happened then? Was it Kelsey who shot Megan Thee Stallion? Then is that what you think?
Oh, hey, this is why I went into the whole thing by saying, "Are we here to find out?" I said we won't find out who actually did it. Right? We're only going to find out.
Okay, but come on. You are making a lot of inferences. Like, don't escape that.
I'll tell you my narrative. My narrative is this. Okay. They're at this party with Kylie. At the party, I believe that, Meg, who was messing around with Tory behind her best friend's back, because the first person, and by the way, it does matter. I'm not trying to slut shame her, but it does matter who was having sex with who. Tory was having sex earlier in the year with Kelsey. She catches COVID. She goes back home. He starts messing around with Meg. Kelsey comes back into the picture, and at one of the most and first public events they're at together, they're at Kylie's house. Okay? They were drinking before Tory gets there. Tory gets there. He's trying to game up Kylie. Meg feels a little bit type of way because, number one, that's disrespectful. I invited you somewhere, and now
we are. By the way, we're still not at the events that took place. Okay, but you're building backstory. Fine. You're saying it's not like victim blaming or slut shaming. It's just,
Wait,
it's important.
you have to build it, because if you think that somebody, if I diss you as a streamer, would you shoot me, brother? If I say you're the worst streamer on the platform, would you shoot me?
No, of course not. But I'm not Tory Lanez. You know what I mean?
Oh my! So Tory is just like this degenerate guy who's not.
I mean,
like,
I think that I think that he is not necessarily degenerate, but he definitely does have a, like I said, short fuse. Very insecure, short fuse, drunk, has a gun around. That's what happens. This happens all the fucking time to less famous people. And
okay,
it's not,
no, hold on. Short fuse and shooting a woman is like, come on, bro. Are we gonna act like there's no levels of separation, dog?
I mean, I know, but like then we come to the other side of the altercation where you are easily believing without any evidence whatsoever. Not a single person has said that this is the case. Okay, you believe that 𝗕𝗓 has a short enough fuse to fucking shoot Megan Thee Stallion, but Tory Lanez doesn't. So that's why I'm like a little confused about where you are trying to go with this conversation. Unless there was a third shooter with a sniper rifle, okay? It's either 𝗕𝗓 who shot Megan or Tory who shot Megan.
Let me get there then. You see, in your story, hey, you suck at music. Boom, 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 boom. I say complete cap. I'm getting to it. I'm gonna speed the story. So there's a bunch of jealousy going on. The women are arguing, but they're also arguing with Tory, which also is in line with what pretty much Meg even said on that 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗚 interview. All three of them are arguing. Kylie kicks them out. You have all three women argue, or you have two women and Tory arguing, okay? And then I gotta use Sean Kelly's testimony. The car pulls over, and Meg hops out and starts to assault 𝗕𝗓. Sean Kelly said it. She was kicking her for several.
Sean Kelly, who was sleeping at this point, right?
Okay, listen. We're just gonna throw out his testimony because he doesn't agree?
I mean, no, but I would be a little, I would be a little questioning it a little bit, right? Like a little bit of skepticism is necessary here because, like, why the fuck was he up watching the street randomly in the middle of the fucking night versus he woke up the gunshots? That's such a massive inconsistency, and common sense probably favors one side that he did wake up the gunshots, which was his original testimony to.
You're like pigeonholing on him. There was an altercation, even if you didn't believe that he saw it. Okay, so are you gonna then say that the hair missing, the pendant, the ring or the nail broken from 𝗕𝗓 was not due to any type of assault?
No, I do think 𝗕𝗓 got assaulted. I think Tory Lanez and 𝗕𝗓 had a scuffle afterwards. That was the other piece of the evidence.
She said it didn't happen. She said he never put hands on me.
You're saying 𝗕𝗓 said Tory Lanez never put hands on 𝗕𝗓. Is that what you said?
Yes. And by the way, if she had said that, any respectable district attorney, if you were told by a woman that Tory, before going into a complete like school shooter rage, beat the brakes off you, they would have charged him for an additional count of assault. He's not charged for that.
Wait, hold on. Well, I mean, the case was, the case was about Tory Lanez using a gun on Megan Thee Stallion. I get what you're saying. Where do you think that came from? Where do you think that suggestion came from then?
What do you mean?
Like, where did the Tory Lanez and 𝗕𝗓 fighting, like, what do you think happened there?
Meg Thee Stallion says she's seen a bump. And then in the opening statements, which supposedly I guess 𝗕𝗓 was supposed to attest to, when Tory let off the shots and was approaching Meg, 𝗕𝗓 intercepted, and then supposedly Tory, he beat down 𝗕𝗓 on his way to Meg, which 𝗕𝗓 said that never happened.
So why do you think Tory Lanez? So why did Tory Lanez apologize to 𝗕𝗓 then?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you why?
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to hear your perspective on that.
This is only a theory. Clearly.
No, I mean, look, I want to hear your theories.
We're talking now. Okay, I would believe, hey, if you've been fucking both of the girls, and then you started to try to fuck another girl, or you were trying to kick game to another girl in front of both of them, they're starting to fight because of it. The fight is escalating, and apparently you throw it in both of their faces that you're having sex with them. Yes, they throw you under the bus and say, hey, you're a shit musician, blah, blah, blah. But if you didn't make it a scene among these two friends that now they're fighting themselves and even trying to fight you, that seems like...
He seems like a good guy. He seems like a really good guy. He just, had both of these women's best interests at heart. That's why he apologized.
Character. I'm just saying, as a man,
I mean, it's crazy because like one person shot Megan Thee Stallion, right? Like, so he's apologizing to the person who shot Megan Thee Stallion, because that's fucking wild. If he's both apologizing to Megan Thee Stallion and also apologizing to the woman who shot Megan Thee Stallion, being like, I'm so sorry that like things got out of hand and you shot Megan Thee Stallion.
I'm sorry.
If that's believable to you, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, because it does seem like him apologizing to all parties involved, including the fucking bodyguard that wasn't there, kind of makes it seem like he might have been responsible. Because like if
saying that I'm apologizing for what may have escalated the situation for this to happen, it doesn't necessarily mean to me that he's apologizing for shooting. Unless you're just drastically different.
Because the original testimony from Kelsey, ex-friend Kelsey Harris, absolutely said Tory Lanez fired a gun at Megan. That's what she told the police back in September. And on top of that, she said she was hesitant to give details now, right? Even though the interview was played in its entirety. There was also, I believe, hold on. Kelsey says she started hearing gunshots. After the second or third shot, she turned around and says she saw Tory on the front seat firing the gun forward over the open right front door in Megan's direction. Kelsey was outside the vehicle, but behind Tory, and could only see Meg from the chest up. She ran towards Megan in defense mode and saw her bleeding. This is her testimony. And Tory was still sitting in the front seat, apparently in shock. She claims Tory walked toward them, and that's when Kelsey and Tory started fighting. This is Kelsey's testimony. She describes it as Tory assaulting her and adds that she did not see the gun at that point. Once they all got back in the SUV, Kelsey says she texted Megan's security, 911, Tory shot Meg.
That's an interview. That's not a testimony. That's an interview.
Yeah, but like that is literally, that is profoundly important. That's her account that literally played a significant role in launching a criminal investigation.
But hold on. Again, are we arguing what we think happened, or we're arguing what should be proven in court? If someone says, I lied, like, okay, you can play the statement all you want, but I lied. I'm telling you the truth now. Is that person credible? Yes or no?
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Okay, you're going off what Kelsey said in September, but she literally showed up and said, I lied. I lied. She's saying, I lied then, and I'm under oath now, and I lied. So I told you, I'm telling you I lied then. What's up? Are you going to say, okay, we're going to just ignore the fact you're telling us you're lying?
I don't think she never said she lied, by the way. I mean,
she did lie. She said she lied on her testimony.
She lied.
Where did she say she lied on her testimony? She just said she can't remember, which is inconsistent for sure, because it was very clear when she was offering evidence to launch this criminal investigation. But I don't think she ever said I lied. She just said I can't recall.
Yo, Myron's here. We just joined in. Are you guys talking about Meg Thee Stallion right now? Or are you guys talking about Kelsey in particular? We literally just joined.
We're talking about Kelsey's statement. He's using the one from September. I'm using the fact that she got on the stand and said, "Fuck that. I did not tell the truth."
Wait, no. You can't embellish in this circumstance, because this is pretty important. She never got on the stand and said, I fucking lied. That's crazy.
Yes, she did. She got on. These are the facts. These are the facts. This
okay,
is what happened.
No. Before you say these are the facts, I want you to actually show me the facts. And not Milagro Grams, who has been proven time and time again that she was,
Mo Gagnet, who was there in person, who watched it, who is a lawyer himself, he literally said she took the stand. First thing she did was take the Fifth Amendment. You cannot take the Fifth Amendment unless you might be criminally culpable for a crime. Then they said, listen, we'll give you immunity if you testify.
Wait, what?
Keep
No,
in
you
mind-
you can plead the fifth regardless. Like you can just refuse to testify.
Hasan, I hate to say this to you, bro, but I used to investigate criminal activity.
I know you're a Fed. I know. I've seen it. I've seen you talking about it.
So I'm telling you, you cannot take the Fifth Amendment, okay, unless you're criminally culpable. That is why Gunna is not protected if they call him to testify.
Wait, what? No, you can definitely say I plead the fifth. It doesn't matter if you're like criminally culpable or not. You can still refuse to testify, even if it's
a judge can overrule it.
You're compelled to testify, right? If you don't have a Fifth Amendment privilege.
No, it's literally it's a right. You can just say that you are pleading the fifth, regardless of whether it's because you're incriminating yourself or not.
You can only take the fifth if you might incriminate yourself. You cannot take the fifth in any other circumstance. You are compelled to testify.
No, you can still you definitely still can in any circumstance plead the fifth. It doesn't matter what the truth is.
What? So you can just randomly just plead the fifth?
No, you can plead the fifth, even if that doesn't immediately mean that you are self-incriminating. If that was the case, then that could be used as additional evidence, like you guys are trying to do right now. But that's not the case. I know that like in colloquial, in like the you know, in normie speak, we always assume when you plead the fifth, oh, that means they're guilty, like they're incriminating themselves. That's what we say, but that's not the case. You can plead the fifth even if you are not actually incriminating yourself. That's kind of the point of being able to plead the fifth and not having it be used against you as evidence.
Let's use your logic then, Hasan. If that was the case, why did her lawyer fight tooth and nail to get her immunity?
Ooh.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'll read from this is the 14th of December. So this is Tory Lanez and Megan trial day 3. Kelsey takes a stand. She admits to lying to prosecutors about everything she told them.
No, you're reading No Jumper right now, who literally, by your accounts, got DJ Akademiks. They jumped the gun and literally posted about the verdict coming in before the verdict had actually come in. You can't just use their one-sided assessment of the events that took place. You originally went to Megan Thee. I'm watching your stream right now. You couldn't find the actual thing that you wanted out of her, so you went to find the No Jumper tweet. If you give me Megan Thie's actual court reporting, then we can have a conversation.
I got it.
It's like you citing yourself. Come on.
Hasan, you're missing the point here that Kelsey, right, changed her story. She went in and did an interview with actually the prosecutors, not even law enforcement, which is another big red flag. But she went ahead and did an interview.
What's the red flag? I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
The red flag is she did an interview with the prosecutors with no law enforcement there, which is a huge red flag because prosecutors are not supposed to be direct witnesses in witness testimony when you're doing a criminal investigation. There's supposed to be an investigator there. And the reason why there wasn't an investigator there is because the lead detective, 𝗕𝗥𝗪, right?
Wait,
he has
you can definitely have prosecutors directly question witnesses. Wait, what?
No, you need an investigator there. They can't be the only witnesses because they're the ones prosecuting the case. It's a conflict of interest. You need a sworn law enforcement officer there conducting.
Most of the prosecutors are literally law enforcement officers, pretty much functionally. So I don't know. Like you're making it seem like they're operating on different teams here.
Yes, they do work together. However, you need an agent, a detective, some type of police presence there to do the investigation and to do the interviews, bro.
Wait, can I just address something really quickly? I love chat being like, no black voices. Hasan didn't want a black voice in that circumstance. Bro, No Jumper, Adam 22's operation, we're calling that a black voices now? Really? Halo Boom? Is that what you're saying in the chat? Dumbass. Shut the fuck up. Meme rapper.
The point I'm trying to make is there's
problems.
Wanna be
meme rapper, motherfucker. Okay, sorry, go on.
There's problems with Kelsey's situation because, number one, she was interviewed by prosecutors only. There wasn't an investigator there, which is a problem in itself. And then second, she switched her story up. She said, hey, Tory did X, Y, Z and, made him criminally culpable. And then when she came in to testify, she immediately took the fifth. And then her defense attorney said, we need immunity. They tried to get immunity where she'd be covered all the way, but they were only able to get use immunity because obviously to get transactional immunity, which would be her protected all the way, that is very difficult to get. You would need a DA signature to get that. And obviously they're in the middle of a trial. They don't have time to go back to the DA saying, yo, we need the signature. So we're like, listen, we'll give her use immunity. We're on the record. We're not going to prosecute her. That's when she felt comfortable to go ahead and testify after that, pretty much. So if she wasn't culpable, why would she fight so hard? Why would her defense attorney fight so hard to get her use immunity, bro? You can only take the fifth, right? You can ask any attorney this. Any defense attorney will tell you this. You can only take the fifth when you might be giving testimony that might incriminate yourself. But if you're not necessarily giving testimony that's going to incriminate yourself and other people, then you're compelled to testify. That is why Gunna cannot assert the Fifth Amendment privilege if they call him to testify in the YSL trial. Young Thug goes to trial, they're going to call Gunna on, and he cannot claim Fifth Amendment. He will have to testify. That is a part of his plea deal.
Okay, so I can't speak on why she wanted to, why she no longer wanted to offer her testimony. Okay, she did get granted immunity. I'm pretty sure, not the full blown immunity. If she was like to go up on that stand and be like, I actually fucking, I actually shot someone. I was the one who shot. Megan Thee Stallion, then all of a sudden your case falls apart. Of course, a prosecutor's not going to fucking do that because someone could very easily fall out of favor with the victim, like Kelsey and Megan did, and then turn around and be like, you know what, actually, I'm the one who shot it, but guess what? You guys gave me the fucking immunity. You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous.
She could have went on the stand and said that, though, because they gave her use immunity, which means her testimony that was given in that circumstance could not be used against her. However, that does not mean that law enforcement...
and yet she still didn't offer inconsistencies. She could have very easily said, I am here to tell my truth. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, and I was wrong originally. She didn't even say that.
Yeah, because she knew before she was lying.
But she got immunity. But you just explained that she got immunity from the original lie that she had told. If you're claiming that she originally lied,
yeah, she originally lied, and she didn't want to give testimony because
so you're admitting that she would not have been liable under perjury in that regard because she had gotten immunity to offer her true testimony in that circumstance.
No, what I'm saying is that she could have been found. There's a bunch of things that they could have hit her with. There's a bunch of charges she could have got hit with.
Like what? Like,
which is why,
like shooting Megan Thee Stallion.
You don't trust no jumper. I got my man. I think he writes L.A. Times. James Quealy. This is Kelsey on the stand. Our interview that they were trying to refresh her memory many times with. She says our interview was not 100% truthful.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make you feel good, brother? You literally said, I'm not telling the truth. You said, whatever you're citing, I did not tell the truth. She basically said it and referred to it and kept almost looking at her lawyer to say, hey, if I answer this, am I getting fucked up legally? And they did many sidebars. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah. Her interview not being 100% truthful, especially when there's additional circumstances involved in there, like whether or not I'm not familiar if she got asked the question about the $1 million that like Tory Lanez offered them or something like that. But there are plenty of additional instances in that interview. You are the one who's inferring the parts that you believe is not truthful from that interview, and she still absolutely ended up getting. Just read the rest of that. What's the rest of the quote?
We're not trusting no jumper, but we definitely trust the L.A. Times.
Yeah, of course I trust the L.A. Times, and I trust court reporters. And you yourself admitted that No Jumper got. So if No Jumper got and fucking literally...
Okay, forget No Jumper. Harris says she struggled with postpartum depression and a recent death in the family, and her mind isn't here right now. She also denied Lanez offered her hush money, which Megan alleged he did to the tune of $1 million.
Yeah, the exact quote from her, by the way, wasn't an immediate denial. She literally said it wasn't exactly the way that was presented. I know what I'm talking about because I know what quote that was. The reason why we're bringing this up, by the way, is because she has postpartum depression now. She has a recent death in the family now. If anything, her evidence or her additional information that she's going to offer currently now and not back then is going to be less conclusive.
Wait, what about this one? Critically, she wouldn't confirm she saw Lanez with the gun, which she said in the recorded interview, or that Lanez threatened to shoot her. She won't confirm it in court. She like,
wouldn't. Yeah, that doesn't. Wait, What do you mean? That doesn't mean anything. She already had.
Hold on. You keep referencing.
Yes, she literally said yes because we know. You and I both know. You and I both know. She went on the stand and said, "I can't recall anything. I can't recall anything. I have postpartum. I'm depressed. I can't recall anything," is basically what she said, and then she pled the fifth. That doesn't mean that she fucking absolutely lied. That's the reason why they played the whole interview.
In a court of law, if any type of witness or victim can't recall their statements and can't even affirm to it, right? Keep in mind, she's now under oath. She already acted weird with the, hey, I needed like immunity of this and third. She can't co-sign the majority of what she said in a goddamn interview, right? You think that the jury should be like, okay, let's just believe her. Really? Come on, brother.
Well, first of all, the jury did believe her, ultimately. The jury believed Megan Thee Stallion, who also is a witness in this circumstance. The jury also believed what she said originally, which is important to address in this circumstance. And the jury, of course, did not take into consideration that she pled the fifth, especially because she had the opportunity, given an immunity, to go back and correct the record and refused to do so while simultaneously admitting that currently, right now, in this very moment, was not likely to give a clear-cut version of the events, considering her postpartum depression and a recent death in the family. That's what I'm stating. That's the reason why the jury deliberated in the way that it did.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, but you're missing the point here, Hasan. See, here's the thing. Tory gets that Fifth Amendment privilege to not testify, not being used against him. Kelsey does not. Kelsey's a witness in the case. She's not the one on trial.
Okay, but so I know, but you can still say some dumb shit or potentially think that you're incriminating yourself, or ultimately say you have the right to plead the fifth regardless. You have the right to plead the fifth regardless of whether or not you're actually incriminating yourself or not. You just have that right. That is a right that you have.
You're just rambling, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, Tory gets the privilege of them not being able to judge him for taking the fifth. Kelsey does not, because the Tory is the one that is accused. Okay? That is the reason why. So when Kelsey doesn't get that same Fifth Amendment privilege to that level as Tory, because he's the one that's actually being charged in a criminal case in a criminal court of law in the United States. So Kelsey doesn't get that, which is why she was like, I need immunity if I'm going to talk. Because she is compelled to testify. That is why she asked for immunity in the first place.
Look,
go ahead.
You said that you have to be guilty to plead the fifth. That is not the case.
You don't have to be guilty. You have to be essentially liable, right, from a criminal standpoint to invoke the Fifth Amendment.
Yes, an innocent witness may validly claim the Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. If you are an innocent witness, you can still plead the fifth. That is precisely the reason why we look at pleading the fifth as a right that people have and not as an indication that that person is somehow criminally liable, which is what you guys are doing right now. Okay? That the entire concept behind pleading the fifth would be null and void if we automatically assumed that that person is fucking guilty every time they pled the fifth.
No. Pleading the fifth isn't an implication of guilt. However,
you are making it seem as though it is.
No. Well, I mean, one could take it as that, but if you have zero conflict with what's being asked of you when you're either subpoenaed and you're on the stand, you got to answer. You can't just magically say I plead the fifth and then say the judge says to you or you and your attorney, hey, okay, let's figure out why you're pleading the fifth, and you're like, no, just because I want to. They're not going to just be like, okay, you got it.
Here, I'll tell you the Supreme Court decision that the justices made on this regard, because like people do plead the fifth sometimes when they're innocent, or they might be afraid, okay, of one reason or the other. It's normal. The criminal justice system is fucking ruthless, right? In the 2001 Supreme Court case, the justices noted that the right against self-incrimination provided by the Fifth Amendment in Ohio versus Reiner, the court case that I was telling you about earlier, okay, that the Fifth Amendment protects the innocent as well as the guilty. The court added that a witness may have a reasonable fear of prosecution and yet be innocent of any wrongdoing. The ruling noted that innocent people might be ensnared by ambiguous circumstances. So her right to plead the fifth in this circumstance was given to her and was protected by the Supreme Court specifically for situations exactly like the one that she was entangled in, where she could have very easily been fearful. She could have very easily been fearful that she might be
fearful of prosecution. Now, granted,
okay, she committed crimes.
Wait, no, but you're still doing that. But remember, you're still doing that. You're still claiming that she is guilty because she pled the fifth.
If you're saying,
but you are a Fed, so I'm not surprised that you think that. But anyway, let's go on. Let's move on.
Wait, you're saying she's fearful of prosecution, right? You're literally alluding to the fact that maybe something that she did or could say would be in some realm of maybe being able to either the DA could pick up a charge on, right? We're not saying
it doesn't even matter though. It doesn't matter because what matters is what she felt in that moment. If she feels like she could be ensnared for any reason whatsoever, she has the constitutional right to be able to plead the fifth in that regard. That's it. And that's what she did. She exercised it.
Hasan, do you not see that she was the prosecution's star witness and that is problematic?
Problematic? I mean, I do feel like the star witness was probably the person who survived getting shot, but she was a witness. Yes, she was one of the big witnesses in that regard.
Yeah, but here's the thing: that's Meg. Meg is obviously the victim, so that's going to be a witness in itself. But I'm talking about the prosecution star witness from from an unbiased standpoint, according to them, was Kelsey.
And it would have been the only person to have allegedly.
When you get shot, you are a little biased. That's true, but you would probably be biased against the person who shot you. In this case, if you claim that it is Kelsey, then she should probably be biased towards her, right?
What? No, what I'm saying is that the prosecution in opening statements used Kelsey and said, Kelsey's going to come in here and weave together all our evidence. They were relying heavily upon what? A jail call, a text message, okay? And then also Kelsey's testimony. That's what they were weighing heavily on. And then for everything to make sense and come together, they needed Kelsey's testimony. So when she gets on the stand and takes the Fifth Amendment as the prosecution's main witness, mind you, that is problematic.
Well, she, like I said, originally did allow this entire thing to come together with her testimony. The text messages are also pretty damning too, like saying 911, Tory shot her, Tory shot Megan. Why do you think she texted that and then also gave corroborating evidence to that? And we're hyper focusing on like her pleading the fifth, which is her constitutional right to do so for any reason. You know what I mean? Like she could just do that, which she did. She exercised that, but we just refuse to think about why she texted that. We don't think about why Tory apologized to every party involved. We're not looking at any of those instances and only hyper focusing on instances that you can draw reasonable doubt out of, like you're working for the defense team.
You're making the inference that the apology is for the shooting, while you're definitely absolving the reason why she would say I'm not taking a stand, period, unless as soon as she got on the stand, she said I'm pleading the fifth. It's not that she was asked anything as soon as she got there. But so you want to make the inference that the apology from Tory, which was innocuous, honestly, didn't say what he's apologizing for. Say I'm sorry. That's all he said. But you're saying that's for the shoot.
What do you think? So wait, you think he's apologizing because like an altercation happened where like Kelsey shot Megan, right? That's what you were claiming. Like you think that's a normal thing to apologize for?
Hasan,
the person who was adding the gas to the whole situation for the shooting.
Because like, look, if I was involved in a situation, a love triangle, as you claim, right? And the girl that was with me shot the other girl, I would not text like, I'm sorry to everyone involved. I'd be like, that was crazy. Remember when that bitch shot you? That was wild, right? Like, that's what I would text. I think that's what normal humans would text in that situation.
Hasan, you're operating on 20/20 hindsight. You got to remember, these are women. They're emotional. They're drunk. It's late at night. They just trying to go ahead and get with Kylie Jenner.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Tory Lanez was very emotional. I think like
you can say that. You can say that. That's fine. But my point is,
he was drunk too and emotional.
And
when he shot Megan,
Kelsey. Right? He exposes Meg Thee Stallion for having sex with men that she had originally hooked up with Kelsey. So that is how the argument ensued. So we don't know definitively if he was apologizing for shooting or for putting out Megan's.
I know, but don't you think that that's like a much bigger thing that you would mention? You'd be like, that was crazy when Kelsey shot you, right? Because only one person said
That would be
one
foolish to
person
do that.
shot
though.
another
Let's be
person.
honest. I mean, he's not going to sit there and be like, yo, that was crazy that Kelsey shot you. No, he's going to say, yo, if he apologizes.
Really?
we
You
don't
wouldn't?
know-
So you're in a situation, you're in a love triangle. You get a lot of women, right? I feel like, or you must. You talk about it all the time. You're in a love triangle. It happens all the time. One of the girls shoots the other girl. You're gonna be like, I'm sorry. That's how it happened. You wouldn't be like, how fucking insane was that this crazy bitch shot you?
Conversations that he had,
Women, am I right? That's probably what you would say, right? Women, emotional.
Conversations he had, he's in custody and he's been recorded over the jail phone.
So why do you
the
think?
hell would he say?
No, but why do you think Kelsey texted 911? Tory shot Meg.
So now you're moving off the argument.
No. I'm asking you. I legitimately want to know, why do you think Kelsey originally texted that?
If you concede this point, because you're saying what the text from him should be, I'm telling you why it's not like that. He's
No. But tell me that. Just I want to know what you mean. Why do you think Kelsey texted 911? Tory shot Meg.
Hold on. So by us moving to this, and I'm gonna answer it. I'm feeling like you're conceding that other point, because what you're saying would be idiotic if you know you're calling off of a jail phone to say, hey, isn't it crazy when you got shot by so and so? You might as well give a fucking statement. Okay, if you're conceding that because
so you think Tory was protecting Kelsey? That's what you're saying,
He's a
right?
rapper, bro. He's a rapper. He cannot snitch. That is career suicide. Of course, he's not going to go ahead and incriminate someone else. He's a rapper, bro.
Answer the other one, because I have an answer for the other one.
He can't do that.
Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, got it.
Here's the thing.
Every rapper that gets caught cooperating with the police or snitching or doing anything that might put someone else in jail, their career is ruined. So
I mean, I don't know if their career is ruined. They can still go on DJ Akademiks' broadcast like Tekashi does all the fucking time. You know what I mean?
Are we going to stick to the facts here, or are we going to try to make side jokes?
Hasan is like a troll. You know, he's like no enough troll.
Yo, this guy's qualified to talk about the culture or anything like that, bro. Dude, your facts, bro, are non-existent, bro.
Like you're
what you trying to
deflecting
argue?
crazy. You're just deflecting.
I'm not. I asked you a simple question, and nobody was able to answer this question. It's a super simple question. It's so direct. Why did Kelsey text 911? Tory shot Megan. If that's not the case, it's 3v1 now. By the way, holy fuck.
I'll answer that question, but I'm going to just assume that because you diverted, you basically like you bowed out of that other.
I mean,
point.
you can assume whatever you want to, but just give me the answer. I just want to know.
I'll
I'm like genuinely interested in your perspective.
Now I'll answer that question, but I really could just ask a question to answer, but I'll just answer myself. If I was the best friend of someone who just got in a drunken fight and I unfortunately shot at my best friend, okay, she got hurt. If I'm the closest person to her team, you think I'm going to text her team, hey, I shot Meg? Come on now. Would you text that?
So in that situation, you think a text message is necessary, right? Like you're saying that the text message is necessary. She's belligerent enough to fucking grab a gun, shoot Megan Thee Stallion, but then also somehow has it all together. I guess like the adrenaline kicked in and all of a sudden she just like remembered the consequences of her actions and decided to very cleverly and devilishly text this ruse, even though Tory Lanez on Instagram comments has also said that Kelsey had not shot Megan Thee Stallion. And it like, so clearly like no one has said Kelsey shot Meg Thee Stallion. That has never even been brought up except for the blogosphere.
Are we going to hold what Tory said on Instagram, which we don't even know if that's him controlling his page? We're going to hold him liable for that, but we can't hold Meg liable for saying out of her own mouth a different story. Well,
I mean, it was used from what I understand when an LAPD detective Warren Eberhard took the stand to testify that Tory Lanez's verified IG account once commented on a theory that Kelsey was the shooter, saying that's not true.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad you said that. Now, this incident happened 2 years ago. They asked that same detective, when did you see that message? Did you check the IP address of where it came from? Because you could have an Instagram account and somebody could access it from Zimbabwe. Somebody could access it from Costa Rica.
So you think a hacking happened? That's why Tory Lanez, or you think Tory Lanez's Tory Lanez's interns are fighting against Tory Lanez is what you're saying?
Mid-trial, when Mo went live, Tory Lanez's Instagram joined the live. You think Tory's in court joining live?
I don't. But do you think someone with access to Tory's? Why is someone with access to Tory Lanez's Instagram account defending defending Kelsey?
Here's my point. I'm not saying you can't use that as some type of proof, but Number one, you saw it a week ago before trial when you had 2 years to see it, right? Number two, you made no fucking effort to try to at least go out of your way to prove that he's the actual one that posted it.
Well, to be fair, I don't think they needed that because ultimately it wasn't Kelsey that was on trial. It was Tory Lanez on trial because, again, going back to the main thing, the 5 points that the prosecution laid out was pretty open and shut. Oftentimes, cops not very good at their jobs, okay? I can't talk about feds. I don't know how Myron was, but clearly he wasn't that good because now he's doing a fucking PUA podcast. However, okay. However, this is one of the instances where it literally does seem like they had a lot of evidence, right? Like, I mean, holy shit, they had the witness who survived.
Petition more than you. Brother, you gotta run for office. Like the way you're able to duck out
What do
of
you
shit.
mean? There's 5 points of evidence that are so conclusive.
You move to another one, and then when we try to get you there, you flip to this.
Bro, your counter was someone from Zimbabwe might have fucking controlled his account. The reason why they didn't even have to fucking find this is because they already had 5 points of evidence that was so damning in a situation where it was Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion.
You're being stupid. You cover all type of shit, even if you're covering like the search warrants that was like executed in Mar-a-Lago. Come on, you know if you're gonna use someone's social media writings and presence, nigga, at least motherfucking execute a warrant. Instagram is gonna show you exactly where it came from. They took a screenshot from the shade room. Is that what you want the fucking government to be putting people in jail for? That's what I'm trying to say. They found a screenshot
again, it's the reason why they didn't conduct that level of investigation on that regard was because, again, there was no like Kelsey is the actual shooter theory. There was no evidence that Kelsey was the actual shooter. One of the most damning pieces of evidence was also Kelsey's own fucking text message saying 911 Tory shot Meg.
If the police haven't done their due diligence and done their fucking job, you want us to consider some shit off Instagram? At least fucking run a warrant, okay? At least get the information in a right format that the jury could have some validation to the shit you're presenting. You're presenting shit like a blog. Unfortunately, Akademiks has no like, I have no. There's no like fucking. You have to meet
Akademiks. You understand? They didn't need to do that because it was,
present it in court. Yeah,
but they didn't. But you know that they didn't need to do that. You know what I mean? Like they didn't need to. You understand why I'm saying they didn't need to, right?
But you're actually relying on it to make your point. So if they didn't need to do it, why are you relying on it to make your point?
Well, I'm bringing it up because I think that it's already in. There's already enough evidence, as I've shown time and time again, as to why I feel the way I do about the situation. I'm not even getting emotional about this, but it seems like you are a little bit.
Here's the thing. Let me take this, bro. Let me take this. Hasan, I
like the bottom of you.
Attacks, which is fantastic. But you know what? Let's go over each piece of evidence and actually talk about each piece of evidence with facts versus you making jokes ad hominem attacks. Number one, the jail call. He never actually admits to shooting at Meg. He's just profusely apologizing. The text message. Kelsey says, Tory shot Meg. When they tried to bring in the witness to actually receive the text message so they can get some context, he didn't want to come in and testify. I wonder why. Also, the text messages between Meg and Tory, we don't necessarily know if he was apologizing for outing Meg Thee Stallion and her promiscuity in the past along with her friend, or if he was apologizing for Kelsey and Meg fist fighting because starting that conversation initiated the fist fight, or her getting shot. We don't know what he was apologizing for.
Yeah, but you're making an inference. You are the one who's making an inference off of that, though.
I'm inference off of what exactly?
Like you are using that, like that in and of itself, apologies in and of itself, depending on which state you're in, are not admissible as evidence in court because of the things that you just mentioned, right? Like from what I understand, I don't think they're admissible as evidence in court. I'm not using that as like evidence. I'm telling you that in and of itself, when we're having a conversation between normal human beings, is kind of odd. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it's a weird thing to say when there's a much larger situation at play, right? What I mean by that is this. If someone is shot in your vicinity, oftentimes you would probably talk about that rather than apologize for like your own personal actions that are completely unrelated to that situation,
No,
right?
they
That's what I
are.
was saying. Because
You're missing the
if
point.
you were in
Let
that
me
similar circumstance, you would probably bring up the shooting rather than fucking apologize for a minor argument that you had.
Let me finish my point. The reason why, okay, he apologized, there's so many different reasons he could be apologizing for. It could be for them getting in a fight. It could be for him revealing Meg's promiscuous past. It could be for Kelsey hitting her or whatever it may be, her getting shot. Him.
But if
not
someone
wanting
is
to be
shot,
that-
that's the main point of that's the main point of contention. That's the main point of consideration.
That is the main point of consideration. Of course, though, you got to look at all the other underlying facts as to what he could be apologizing for. He could be apologizing for hitting on Kylie Jenner in front of her.
But that's why I said like common sense, right? Like that's why I said if someone was shot and it was completely outside of your control, you wouldn't say, "Oh man, I'm sorry that like things got out of hand." You'd say, "That's crazy that she shot you."
He can't say that, Hasan, because he's a rapper and his ability, right, to sell records and make music.
Come on, we're making a lot of inferences that are like.
It's common sense, bro.
How is that common sense, bro? What the fuck? If he's a rapper, why is he apologizing? That also makes him look bad.
Yo, that's crazy. That Kelsey shot.
I can cite about 5 other cases. I can cite 5 other cases where a rapper who should have knew information about what actually happened, even if it happened to their own friend, just shut up. Most notably, Busta Rhymes, who his bodyguard, one of his best friends, got killed. The bodyguard's mom was crying in court, "Hey, why don't you cooperate?" He didn't say anything. That's just what it is.
Yeah,
like,
I know. They're not. He's not snitching, but there's a difference between like saying it in court and saying it to the person that you're having a conversation with. If you're having a text message conversation at that time, when you think that like you have an ongoing relationship with that person, so much so that you're trying to fix it by apologizing to them, you would probably fucking, still feel comfortable enough to be like, how crazy is it that Kelsey shot you, is what you would say.
You keep neglecting the point I made. One of the conversations, right, is Tory incarcerated calling on a jail phone. Why would he say anyone's name? You think he's in YSL? No, he's not going to say anything. Hey, I'm sorry this has happened like that. No more details, no more, no little, whether it was you or not. If you ask anybody from the urban hip-hop culture, they would probably say you shouldn't even make the call.
Yeah.
Whether you had remorse or not.
And also, Lasan, I know you don't know a culture like that in terms of like hip hop and the whole rap industry. However, if he snitched in the very beginning, this would all be settled. He didn't say anything because he knew his career is on the line. Now, regarding that,
his career is still on the line because he didn't really have a career. Let's be real, but 2016 is the last time he was popping off. But
Tory's a big ass artist. What are you talking about? He's huge.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You might not listen to someone does not necessarily negate.
Wait, can I ask something? Your co-host, how old is he?
How old you think I am, bro?
I have no idea. I have no idea, but like you said, Lasan, so I assume like 14.
Is that your name, bro?
Yeah, bro, come on, dude. You are a whole grown-ass man fucking using memes that 14-year-old white boys use on the internet. That is fucking embarrassing. Not to like dismiss everything about you, but god damn, you think that's a good first impression, dog? That is fucked up. Holy shit, you got a whole ass show for yourself too?
All this you're still wrong, bro. Which is hilarious, bro. The chat's laughing at you right now.
Yeah, go back. Talk about how Chad is defending you.
Let's go back to the facts.
Damn, dude.
Phone calls, okay? He never overtly said, hey, sorry for shooting you. And there's a bunch of situations that he could have apologized for. So that's number one. So we don't know exactly what he was apologizing for. And keep in mind, Hasan, it is on the prosecution to prove that Tory is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's ambiguous. It isn't clear. Then on top of that, we got gunshot residue, not only on Tory, but we have it on Kelsey as well. Not to mention that Kelsey and Megan Thee Stallion got in a full-on fledged fist fight prior to the shots going off. That is a fact that's been confirmed by Kelsey, and it got confirmed by Sean Kelly. Kelsey downplayed and said it was just a bump. However, they were 100% fist fighting to the point where a pendant was found on the floor.
We already talked about Sean Kelly's testimony being inconsistent. I don't know if you were there for that, but like did he wake up the gunshots, or was he just like parked on the fucking street, just watching the street for no reason, and then happened to be a scuffle there.
Also admitted they fought though. So that's what solidifies it. Kelsey also admits they fought. She downplayed and said it was just a bump, but the evidence shows otherwise. Your nail and everything. If someone just bumped you, your nail wouldn't fall off and your pendant. They were full on fist fighting.
I mean, look, I don't know the exact details. You know, I mean, look.
The problem. You don't know the details and you're talking. That's the problem.
No. Well, ultimately, I know what they discussed in the court case, and I know that there was enough evidence.
Out of your wheelhouse here.
You can say that all you want, but it doesn't seem like it, especially with this 3v1 situation. And you guys still look really silly, ultimately. They might be saying something different in your chat right now, but, you know, outside of your hug box, I doubt that is what's going on. Now, having said that, how is this your wheelhouse? I do not know. I mean, you're a Fed and you don't even fucking understand how the Fifth Amendment works, so maybe that's good that you're no longer a Fed, probably.
Here's the thing, bro. The Fifth Amendment only works if
we're back to this. There's a Supreme Court case, dog. What the fuck are you talking about? There's literally
You need reasonable expectation that you can be culpable criminally to be able to assert the Fifth. Because if that was the case, right? If that was the case, then everyone would just be like, oh, I'm just going to stay silent and no one would talk in court.
Facts.
Dude, I'm losing my mind. If the Fifth Amendment worked in the way that, dude, I know you have like cop brain, right? Because you're like you can't get out of the cop situation. But if the Fifth Amendment worked that way, it would literally imply that everyone who pleads the Fifth would be guilty. It would ruin the Fifth Amendment.
Wait, Hasan, real quick, because I notice you do this a lot. Like you throw mad ad hominem attacks. Like I think he's getting straight at least on mine. He's getting straight at.
Okay, bro, it's 3v1. I'm starting to lose it a little bit. I was respectful in the beginning, but goddamn, dude, holy shit. Also, your fucking 40-year-old co-host called me Lazan like he's a fucking child. Come on, don't talk to me about ad homs right now.
Federal agent, bro. How old are you? 12? Nigga, he's serving our country. You making fun of him? You're lame, bro. Dead ass. So you're making fun. Oh, Lasan. Nigga, that's your fucking name. Lasan.
Oh, dude. Thank you.
You don't even know, bro.
Thank you for serving our country, sir. Thank you.
I've actually
right.
You're right. I've witnesses. I've been in federal court several times. I've testified hundreds of times.
You still don't understand the Fifth Amendment? That's crazy to me. Like that is actually crazy.
Bro, you don't understand the Fifth Amendment.
Facts.
You cannot randomly assert the Fifth Amendment unless you have reasonable expectation that those statements that you're about to give can incriminate you. It is the same exact reason why Gunna will not be able to use the
Fifth Amendment. You keep bringing up Gunna. This is unrelated. You can literally plead the Fifth regardless. Okay, you can plead the Fifth regardless. It is the law. Okay, it is a right that you have. It's not even the law. It's a right. It's a constitutionally protected right.
You can be held in contempt of court. You can be. There's issues that could arise from that if you don't act. If there's no reason.
Oh my God.
Views against you. That's what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say, but you're wrong. And I told you that there is a Supreme Court case on this exact issue that you're talking about. It does. I also literally gave you the exact reason as to why it doesn't work that way. Because if it worked that way, then everyone would just assume you're guilty all the time, every single time you pled the Fifth, which would literally destroy the Fifth Amendment in general.
Hasan, that wasn't his point, and even when I said that wasn't my point, right? Is of course pleading the Fifth Amendment.
No, because you're inferring that she is guilty, and you're also adding additional reasons as to why she might be guilty. You're speculating why she might be guilty, and saying that that's enough for reasonable doubt. Of course, it's not enough for reasonable doubt. She already gave her original testimony.
Yo, I know me in particular said that by pleading the Fifth, you could infer that that person believes that maybe something they could say could be used to prosecute them.
I know, but the jury cannot deliberate off of that. They can't make inferences in the same way that you are currently. Okay, so if you want to tell your audience, you want to educate your audience on how it actually works, instead of listening to Myron and his assessment of the matter, the reality is that when someone pleads the Fifth, you cannot assume that they are possibly guilty. Myron is absolutely wrong on this, okay? You cannot speculate that someone is guilty.
That only extends to Tory Lanez, because Tory Lanez is the one on trial, not Kelsey, bro. Okay?
No, it literally doesn't matter. You're wrong. An innocent party. No, that's not true. You're wrong. You're just wrong. You do not understand the law that you are supposedly protecting at the point.
Yo,
Dude,
no, you're just wrong.
Hasan, the only person that can assert that Fifth Amendment without being judged is Tory Lanez because he is the one on trial, not Kelsey. If that was the case, Kelsey would not have asked for immunity. That is the difference. And the jury can absolutely use the fact that she took the Fifth Amendment in their deliberation.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, like we know cops are bad at fucking knowing the law, right? But I really thought feds would be a little bit better at this. You are wrong. It does not matter if she's on trial or not. She, as an innocent third party, absolutely has the right to plead the Fifth because she thinks she might be. It doesn't matter for what reason, okay? And the jury cannot deliberate or infer or speculate any sort of guilt off of that, because if that was the case, then you would undermine the entire reason behind why the Fifth Amendment exists to begin with.
How about I bring a lawyer in here and show you that you're wrong?
Ooh,
how about I bring a lawyer in?
Yeah, Hasan,
if you want, but it's the Constitution and the Supreme Court case, Ohio v. Reiner, is pretty fucking clear on this. It doesn't matter what a lawyer is going to tell me. Now we're making it 4v1, which is holy shit.
Wait, Hasan. I'm just mentioning the fact, right? So in the closing by George, which is Tory's lawyer, he did ask the jury to consider why did she need to plead the Fifth. She or need immunity, actually need immunity, right? So they brought that up, and also I probably forgot the first thing I was trying to say. When she so after she got immunity, like the judge, she did try to plead the Fifth while on the stand still, and the judge forced her to answer a few things.
Yeah,
so,
I just don't understand. Like, Hasan, just to make this very clear, you're telling us that you've never been in the courtroom yourself, telling us about the Fifth Amendment. And you have an ex-Fed here telling you to your face what it is. This is a dumb argument, bro. I mean,
I really hate to say this, but yes. First of all, yes. Unfortunately, the reality of the situation doesn't change when you tell me that someone has been a Fed, and that is the reality. Like I know you're trying to desperately at least like create some position of authority here, but that doesn't change the reality of what I'm telling you. Yes.
You're Googling answers, bro.
And it is surprising. It is surprising to me as well. I mean, okay, yeah, I'm a Googling expert, I guess, but ultimately, I'm still correct, and you're still incorrect. And also, you're not the Fed, so I don't know what the fuck we're even talking about this circumstance. I'd rather be a Googling expert that is correct than be the second in command next to a Fed who is incorrect.
You're still wrong, though.
Like, okay, I'm beginning to like you. I'm my bad. I take it back. You're dope. You're fucking dope. You're dope.
I think it's a whole conversation. The whole
conversation. You're dope. You're dope. You're dope.
Has been derailed about this one particular meeting.
Well, and it's a big piece of your argument is that like her testimony was like inconsistent when she didn't offer additional testimony.
You guys are having a back and forth right there. I was allowing that to happen. That was part of his argument. But like even without that being said, I mean, are you saying that if he can't argue that his point was were invalid?
What point?
The point that he was arguing with you about why her testimony, number one, might just look a little shaky.
She's not a credible witness, son. At the end of the day, bro, she's not a credible witness is my main point.
I don't agree with that. I think that she was a credible, she was initially, when the investigation was being conducted, she was absolutely a credible witness. She might have changed her perspective for reasons that she also included, having postpartum stress, postpartum disorder, being depressed because of a death in the family. But ultimately, her new testimony is less, which wasn't anything, it was just her pleading the Fifth, is less conclusive than her original testimony, which is why they played the original testimony in court.
Dude, literally, she said they asked her on the stand, hey,
like you're pulling her less credible moments now rather than the moments where she had more clarity back then when she talked to the cops.
Well, I'm going to rely on when she's under oath. I'm going to rely on when she's under oath rather than when she's doing a phone interview with and it's not the cops, it's the prosecutor. She never talked to the cops.
It's the prosecutor.
The lead detective got put on administrative leave. She was going to show up via subpoena. They postponed it to to December, and because they haven't talked to her in such a long time, because they've been requesting to try to talk to her, they say, hey, let's get something on record. And that's when the prosecutors, who you could ask Myron, even though you feel like he's not credible, you could ask, the prosecutors actually do these interviews frequently with people who are considered witnesses, or is it an agent or a detective? You get what I mean? This whole thing, like,
prosecutors are literally just another arm of the criminal justice system alongside cops. They're not in contention with one another. They are, unless we're talking about very unique instances where they're like prosecuting a cop. They're not.
That's not how information is usually gathered.
And also, she didn't recant any of her prior testimony. She only said, like you also pulled up, that she does not want to offer any testimony now. That's it.
By the way,
she can't recall, and she can't recall.
Okay, all right. So
a lot of the things that she had said, and a lot of things that had happened.
How about we also mention that she also said on the stand that when they asked her, "Hey, are you intimidated by Tory being here?" She said no. Are you intimidated by whatever? She says she's only felt pressure coming from the prosecutors. That's why they had a sidebar right after the jury left, and the prosecutor basically said in open court that they felt offended that, you know, they're being accused of trying to either coerce a witness, which they believe they did do. Then they later got permission to play her initial interview, and they got permission to play the interview to show that she was not under duress when she gave it. But what did she say in court? She said if she was feeling uncomfortable, it was because of the pressure from the prosecutor. I get it. You are selective with what you're going to believe.
No, I'm just telling you. No, I'm not selective with what I'm going to believe. First of all, you're doing the exact same thing that you claim I'm doing, right? Like, you refuse to, you omit certain details, or you have no answer for certain details, or when pressed on it, you say, oh, it's probably because he's a rapper. Like, that's not even a good defense in any meaningful way. Like, there are so many pieces of evidence in this entire process. There are so many pieces of evidence in this entire process, from number one, the witness surviving the shooting attempt and saying, I was shot by this person.
Megan's not credible, though.
Wait, but that's crazy. How can you say that? That's
okay,
dude. What the fuck does that even mean? Can you explain to me how? No. With a straight face, I want you to say a shooting victim is not credible when she is able to survive the shooting and offer testimony. That's crazy.
I will tell you why right now. She gave conflicting information on her Instagram lives with the Gayle Knight interview versus what she testified to. On top of that, the prosecution gave a different story on opening statements than she did when she was on the stand, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Meg is not credible.
What were the inconsistencies within what the prosecution said and what Megan Thee Stallion said? Not cover the Instagram lives and shit.
Let me tell you that. Don't worry, I already took notes because unlike you, I actually watched this case and I know the details. You don't.
I would. No, go ahead. Well, if I don't know any of the details of the case, why does it still look like you're having a hard time fucking convincing anyone of what happened, other than saying woman wrong, woman crazy, she was emotional, but also somehow Kelsey, also being a woman, may or may not have shot Megan Thee Stallion, but also had the wherewithal in that moment to like fucking turn around and text 911. Tory shot Meg.
Bodyguard to Meg's bodyguard, yes. To Meg's bodyguard, she sent that.
Okay, why did she say that?
Dude, there could be a multitude of reasons as to why she would say that. Maybe she was
give me some. She was hysterical enough and drunk enough to shoot Megan Thee Stallion off of like some random bullshit, okay? Because like you say, or at least Akademiks said that it was random bullshit. Like Tory Lanez would never shoot Megan Thee Stallion over like being called short or being called not poppin', which is true. He isn't.
Let's talk about how Meg is not credible, okay? Meg is not credible. Ahead. She omitted a critical factor, right, on a public interview, which the reason how she got on a public television interview in the middle of a criminal case is beyond me. But the point is that she said, I did not have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez. Then she gets on the stand and she admits she did have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez.
Yeah, that's first of all, yeah, of course, that's fucking embarrassing for her to. That doesn't make her inconsistent on in regards to whether or not she got shot, bro. What the fuck?
It absolutely is an important
Wait,
fact.
what? That's insane. Yeah, this is a private affair that she probably felt fucking really embarrassed by because she fucked the dude who was like 5'2" and shot her.
Okay, the point here,
who wasn't even popping.
The argument stems.
If she fucked Drake, she probably talk about it all the time, but she fucked Tory Lanez.
Let me finish my point. The reason why that is material is because when Tory Lanez exposed Meg for having sex with not only him, but Kelsey.
Bro, that's not an expose. What you're talking about is like TMZ shit while you're talking about a fucking criminal court case. Like, what the fuck?
The reason they fought, dude. I'm trying to explain that.
That's insane. But she's the victim. You're literally talking about a victim and making it seem as though the victim is like the actual criminal. She's not on trial, bro. What the fuck? It doesn't matter what she said about whether she fucked Tory Lanez or not.
I'm saying the sequence of events that lead up to a shooting does not matter.
Bro, of course the events that lead up to a shooting matter, but it is fucking insane that you think this is a good case. Of course Tory Lanez went to jail because you think that that's a good enough defense. Holy fuck.
Hasan, right now, let me finish my point before you go crazy and just react versus actually listening to what I'm saying. What I am saying is that she is not a credible witness because she lied in a public interview saying she did not have sex with Tory Lanez. Now, before you get out, let me finish. The reason why that is extremely important is because the entire fight is predicated on the fact that she had sex with Tory Lanez because she backstabbed her friend Kelsey. Kelsey went to Texas because she had COVID, and Megan Thee Stallion started a sexual relationship with Tory. That is why the fight ensued in the first place.
But you know what? You know what? She still got shot though by Tory Lanez by her accounts. So
she has to be credible and be honest. She was not.
No, that part doesn't matter. That part you can fucking make an argument is like a matter of personal privacy. So of course, what she's saying in public, in a fucking interview in public, when she's embarrassed to admit that she fucked Tory Lanez because he wasn't even popping, okay, is entirely irrelevant. Like that's not something you can. That is the reason why. That is the reason why you can't. That's the reason why Tory Lanez lost, by the way, because that's what the argument the defense made. Okay, as though that was like a serious way to fucking defend this person. Like that's not.
There's a picture of Tory and Megan Thee Stallion bent over with Tory. She's not embarrassed, bro. That's cap. So that argument is flawed.
No, I think she's. Well, you know, you do things and then you might be embarrassed by them afterwards. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like.
Hasan, that's cool. But the point I'm trying to make is that you cannot argue the point that her having sex with Tory is not a part of the case. That's very important because that's what led to the entire argument.
The public interviews and saying something in a public interview, especially when it's like, you know, the person who shot you and being embarrassed to admit that you fucked that person is totally valid in my opinion. And also,
did Megan Thee Stallion lie? Yes or no?
About what? About fucking Tory Lanez? I guess she did. Who gives a fuck? What do you mean? I'm saying who gives a fuck? She got shot.
So she lied. So that in itself hurts her credibility in a court of law.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's like no, you're not understanding what I'm trying to say here. Okay, I'm gonna say this again.
Sure.
What she said in the media, okay, is completely irrelevant, especially because it does not pertain to the one-to-one immediate fucking back and forth that occurred that night. Okay, it's not like she fucking lied about she ever said like Kelsey actually shot me and then went back. If she had said that, then you have something. But her saying I never fucked Tory Lanez, he's 5'2" and he's got no fucking hits since 2016, that's irrelevant. That's not relevant to the subject matter at all. I know you want to make it relevant to the subject matter, but she didn't actually lie about any of the fucking information. The first time she actually made a statement, okay, to the cops was still to defend Tory Lanez, to say that she stepped on glass, even though that was not the case. You get that, right?
Too.
You get that.
That was a lie.
Yeah, of course. That was. And she admitted that. She admitted that she lied.
So what you're missing here
is more relevant. That is more relevant to the case originally, but it doesn't matter because she also mentioned why she did that. She also mentioned why she did that. Ultimately, it doesn't matter though, because if she's lying about that, if she's originally defending Tory Lanez, right? If she's originally defending Tory Lanez, okay, why did she turn around and blame Tory Lanez afterwards. What do you think happened there? Do you think it was because a criminal investigation was launched and then she had to fucking tell the truth? Despite the fact that knowing full well that there would be dudes like you that will come after her and be like, oh, she's a fucking liar, even though she got shot. Did she even actually get shot? Who knows? You know, yada, yada, yada. Like, probably
Here's the thing.
She didn't want to rock the boat. She wants to do PR. She's popping off. She doesn't want this kind of fucking attention, which she admitted time and time again. She didn't want this kind of attention because she knew that she was going to get fucked over.
Be truthful. That does not absolve her of her responsibility to be truthful, especially when she is the prosecution's witness.
Wait, okay. Can I ask you a question? I have another question for you. Is Megan Thee Stallion a rapper?
Yes, she is a rapper.
Okay, maybe she wanted to fucking tell, maybe she didn't want to snitch because she's a rapper, just like you said Tory Lanez didn't want to snitch because he's a rapper. I think one is more valid than the other.
She already snitched.
She already snitched. What are you talking about?
It's too late. She already snitched.
Yeah, I'm saying originally she was like, I don't want to snitch because I'm a rapper.
Are
That's
not
probably
held
why.
to the same ethics and codes that male rappers are. Nice try, though.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, that makes sense. That's just male rapper code. Okay, got it. Bro, come on.
Yeah.
You argue like a 14-year-old Myron. Like, what do you mean? Oh, in my worldview, only male rappers have that snitch code. So there's a double standard there. Like, come on.
Sean has practiced the stick so good.
Come on, dude. I mean, come on. I told you guys if the roles were reversed, I would 100% have the exact same fucking take. Okay? If Megan Thee Stallion shot Tory Lanez and the other party involved there was like, yo, Megan Thee Stallion shot fucking Tory Lanez, I wouldn't turn around and be like, let's look into this a little bit further. Let's be more skeptical of the narrative here. Like, that's crazy. It's like you don't ever get an open and shut case like this, and yet, you still were able to simultaneously create a separate narrative here.
There is no separate narrative. It's been documented several times where male hip-hop artists have been asked, would you provide information to the police? And they would say no. Cameron famously went, I think it was either 60 Minutes or something, asked him, would you go to the police if there was a serial killer living next door? He said, no, I would just move. Okay? We gave the example of Busta Rhymes. T.I., his best friend got killed.
We're talking about completely unrelated things now. Like,
Takeoff just got killed, and police are still saying Quavo is uncooperative. He don't want to talk to them. And his fucking
this is not like, none of this is relevant to what we're having a conversation about. You know that, right?
It's relevant because Tory's not going to go and say Kelsey shot her, bro. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Rappers understand that their image is everything, and cooperating with the police will destroy their ability to create music and sell records. And we're giving you these instances so you understand the severity of rappers coming out and providing information to police. Look at Gunna. As soon as he got released, he gave a statement.
But you said this is only male rapper code, right? Like, it's not female rapper code. Is that what you're saying?
Male rappers are held to a higher standard when it comes to the street code, when it comes to hip-hop music.
So do you think do you think there are no female rappers who've done that?
I'm sure there are, but there aren't the same consequences. Meg Thee Stallion still will enjoy a commercial album.
This is crazy. I think this is a crazy conversation we're having, by the way.
Females and possibly domestic violence. For example, when Rihanna came out saying Chris Brown did whatever to her, everybody heralded her as very
because
great.
She was fucking. What do you mean, dude? Come on. Wait, so what? Like, people are not supposed to.
Why is your reaction like I'm upset at it? No, that's how it should be. But I'm just showing you the difference between genders. That's the only point. You're saying you don't.
Yes, because you're bringing up a victim. Okay, bring up an instance where someone fucking was the victim. Okay, and they didn't go to the cops. But it doesn't even matter because we have no. This is completely irrelevant. This is completely irrelevant to the conversation regardless, okay? There are plenty of female rappers like Lil' Kim that also went to fucking jail for a year plus 1 day for lying on the stand to cover for her fucking friends. This shit doesn't fucking matter to the case overall. You're trying to create a narrative where it's like a men versus women thing, but it's ultimately about what happened on that day, on that morning, okay? What happened on that morning?
If Blueface went to the cops for those 2 black guys his girl gave to him, we call him a snitch. If Jay-Z went to the cops
but that's
if Jay-Z went to the cops after Beyonce's sister gave him a fucking 92 combo, it was straight chops, straight to his chest. We call him
I understand what you're saying, but that is completely irrelevant to the conversation unless you're talking about like you're trying to make the whole Tory Lanez apologized, but didn't say like, wow, that's crazy that someone shot you, stick by saying, oh, because like rappers don't snitch. That's not snitching. Going to the lawman is snitching. Saying what the fuck happened that night. That's crazy that you got shot. I can't believe this person shot you. That's not snitching. That's a text message between two friends at that time. Okay? You don't apologize to someone who is an enemy. You apologize to someone who you want to make amends with. So my point is, at that point, Tory Lanez was apologizing specifically because he was the responsible party.
In custody. If you're in custody, why the fuck would you drop a name? Why would you drop a name? If you get locked up for, let me see what type of guy you are, right? Say you're kicking it with your little high school buddies, and let's say, I don't know, maybe one of them has an illegal gun in the car, okay? You all are locked up. Would you call your other friend and be like, yo, do you know that Marcus had the gun in the back? Would you say that on the jail phone?
Bro,
brother?
you and I both went to Rutgers, dog, okay? This whole, like, street cred shit is so stupid, okay? We went to the same college, okay? Academics. Come on.
Wait, no, that's not about street cred. It's about, why would you say something on the jail phone? The statement you're getting that you're trying to use as two people privately talking to each other was recorded on a jail phone. You might as well just put it in writing for the jury. It's not like they ran a warrant on his phone later on and said this was a text message that you thought you guys were the only person going to see. Anybody who has gotten locked up, or if people are doing crime, not saying that I was trying to say that you're a criminal or whatever, or neither am I. Yeah, here's the point. But listen, here's the point. You're acting like Tory should have said a name when he knows the fucking warden, or not the warden, but the person who is in charge of the jail is listening to his call.
I mean, he ambiguously self-snitched is what I would say, regardless, ultimately, by apologizing.
That's what I'm sorry for, and you wanted him to say a name, so you wanted him to snitch regardless.
Also, I thought he texted her. Am I wrong? Is that incorrect? I thought he like sent a text message as well.
He texted
anybody.
No, he texted one of them and he called one. He called one the night of.
Okay.
He called one the night of. Okay.
Yeah. So wait. You know. So the texting is not a jail phone, right? Like, so why do you think he did that then?
You just yo, Hasan, man.
Well, I'm asking you a question. Come on. Why do you think? Why? So the texting is not the jail phone. He's not in custody. He's sending a text message. Why do you think he texted that?
Oh God.
I mean, that's a real. I can't ask you a single question without you being like, "Oh, I'm so good at fucking debating" or some shit. Like,
I don't think I can debate at all, honestly. Like,
we don't know the answer. There were so many different factors going on. The two best friends fighting, him hitting on Kylie Jenner right in front of her wanting to leave, and Tory not wanting to leave the first time.
I know, but the main point of contention there is a shooting, right? Like the main point of contention there is a shooting. You're not bringing that up to be like, oh man.
Hasan, he could have been sorry that she got shot, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's a trigger man, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There were so many factors that went on that night that he could have apologized for. It doesn't necessarily have to be that it was just the shooting or him shooting at her. It could have been her getting shot by someone else. The apology is ambiguous.
So you think he said, sorry you got shot by someone else? That's what he was saying.
The reason why I'm like giving up to let Myron rock
like a ghost. You think there was I'm telling you, maybe you guys have, maybe there's a cooking something here that I want to hear. Maybe there's a third shooter. Okay, I want to know, is there, who was at the grassy knoll? Who was at the grassy knoll?
Hasan, the reason why I'm giving up and I'm letting Myron rock, because it reminds me, because I watched a good amount of your content. And you sound like the same dude who was debating with Charlie Kirk, man. And I felt like you was just going in a circle while that boy was giving you the work. So I hear it now, and I'm like, yo, this is great. Let Myron deal with you, because we're not about to just keep going in a circle, bro. Like, I'm already dizzy. Bro, you're refusing to even concede on small points that we can't even go forward, my nigga. Like, it's like
what? I mean, but there's no, there are inconsistencies with respect to what Kelsey said afterwards, but we've addressed them, right? Like, I already addressed them. I told you. I didn't address them. She addressed it. Like, she said it. She said why she said what she said.
Whenever a witness has inconsistencies, that makes the witness less credible. Do you not understand that testimony needs to be uniform across all platforms? If you say one thing here, they get on the stand and give something here, that hurts your credibility.
Well, the point is she gave nothing, though, on the stand. She literally said that she has postpartum and also on top of that had a death in the family, and therefore she's having a hard time recalling incidents. And that in and of itself is an inconsistency, certainly, but it's one that has been addressed. And I think that it was enough for the jury to you know, take account what she had said originally.
Does not absolve you of your duty to tell the truth as a witness. That hurts her credibility. So did Meg. I am arguing simply this. Kelsey and Meg are not credible witnesses because they gave inconsistent stories pertaining to the shooting from the beginning, between Meg getting on IG Live and giving different recounts of the event, to her getting on a public interview on television saying she did not have a sexual relationship with Tory. And that was extremely material to the situation because a fight broke out, as said by Kelsey as well, due to Tory Lanez having a sexual relationship with Kelsey. So what I'm saying is that Kelsey and Meg are not credible witnesses. And then you add in the factor that they were all...
Bro, you think Megan Thee Stallion is not a credible witness because she didn't want to admit that she fucked Tory Lanez? Like, that's crazy. Come on.
But that's
in a TV interview, like unrelated to the fucking court case. Come on, dude. That's like
everything is related,
bro. I mean, if that makes her unrelated, it's like, oh, you lied when you were 14 years old one time. So like, sorry, you got shot. You're not a credible witness to your own shooting.
Yes, because she gave a differing story on a material fact in her own criminal investigation case.
No, that is not a material fact. That is not a material fact. A material fact would be, if you want to talk about material fact, you could actually bring up the fact that she originally said she stepped on glass. That is a material fact. That is inconsistent. A material fact is not saying I didn't fuck Tory Lanez.
That's important.
Bro, that if that was important, then the court would have argued that was important. But luckily, the jury and the criminal justice system doesn't operate like a bunch of fucking manosphere podcasters. Holy fuck. Come on, dude.
Bro.
Like she can fuck the whole team if she wants to. She still got shot. It doesn't matter.
The shooting happened because she fucked Tory Lanez, which means
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Bro, there's good evidence that Kelsey could have been the shooter, and they argued over Tory Lanez. You're telling me that wasn't relevant to the facts?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bro, it is extremely relevant because Kelsey could have been the shooter.
Also, the other part of this is that's crazy to me is like everyone's fucking mad at Megan Thee Stallion who got shot, and like no one's mad at fucking Kelsey who apparently is the real shooter. You know what I mean? There's no good evidence that she was the shooter. She did test positive for gunshot residue, okay? She and Tory Lanez both failed the GSR test. They both failed it. That's true. The DNA evidence on the gun was inconclusive. That's also true. That doesn't mean that there was no DNA evidence for Tory Lanez. That does not mean that there was no DNA evidence for Kelsey. It was just simply that it was inconclusive, okay? Those facts are correct. You are correct if you were to bring those up.
Is that there was doubt here. There was a significant amount of doubt. We got witnesses that aren't credible. We got DNA tests that aren't being conclusive. We got
that doesn't matter. Yeah, of course, DNA can sometimes be inconclusive. That's why you rely on the entire situation. That's why you rely on witness testimony. And guess what? Here's the reality, okay? If you shoot someone, if they survive, you're kind of fucked. That's it. Like, ultimately, this is where the court case starts, and this is where the court case begins. You shoot someone and they fucking survive, you are fucked. That's it. You can say, Your Honor, she fucked the whole squad, though. Your Honor, she lied about fucking someone, but then said that she actually did fuck them. It doesn't matter. She got shot by the dude, and she said, this motherfucker shot me. That's it.
But she's
if
not
he
credible.
Had finished the job, maybe then you can argue like, oh, well, that's inconclusive and the DNA evidence or whatever. He didn't finish the job. He fucked up.
Do you know why people are mad at Meg? Because she lied multiple times. That's the big issue.
I know why people are mad at Meg, because you have built an entire career shitting on women. That's why, and there are plenty of people who also fucking really don't.
What does that have to do with
Oh my God.
All you do is do ad hominem attacks. You don't argue the points. I'm saying she's not a credible witness because she lied.
Of course I argue the points. Dude, if we're talking about ad hominem, you literally keep bringing up the fact that Megan Thee Stallion in a TV interview says she didn't fuck Tory Lanez, but then openly admitted that she fucked Tory Lanez in court. Because like, that's it. That's not... And you're saying that like the case should be thrown out or something as a consequence of that. That's fucking insane.
It's relevant because she's a liar, bro. Are you missing the point that she lied?
Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. You can't conclusively...
I'm kind of trying to moderate a little bit. I don't think he's saying it means the case should be thrown out, but it goes towards credibility, which...
Yeah, no. Exactly. In that regard, no, it's not material evidence, and therefore it does not matter.
What are you arguing then? What are you arguing?
Her credibility is hurt because she's lied and hasn't told the same story.
No, it doesn't matter. It is a private affair that she fucking said on television versus when she was under oath. Of course, that does not mean anything about her credibility, okay? There are additional reasons as to why people sometimes feel conflicted about openly stating who they fucked, okay? That's understandable. It's the most understandable thing. If you were a little bit more charitable in this regard, you would also recognize that. Come on.
Okay, let's talk about how she didn't want to admit that her and Kelsey got in a physical altercation.
How about that?
Let's also talk about how she said that they left one time, but in reality, they really left twice.
And they came back.
And they came back for a sandal. Let's talk about her lying on a public interview. Let's talk about her IG stories and her IG lives where she gave different conflicting...
ultimately, when you're recalling shit, there's going to be instances where you're not 100% accurate, okay? This happens all the time. Now, you have to measure that. You have to measure that on how severe it is, right? You have to measure that on how severe that is. Recanting or recalling instances that even happened to you is oftentimes going to be murky. Now, if you are, let's say, a third-party person who claims you woke up the gunshots and then change your testimony to, oh, actually, I was watching them fight, so I saw every single thing that happened, that's pretty inconsistent, especially because of your proximity to the situation. If you're Kelsey in that regard, your testimony, if it had changed dramatically, which it never did, right? Remember, she only pled the fifth. She never dramatically changed her testimony. She never dramatically changed her testimony and was literally given the opportunity to address it with immunity in a court of law and did not do that.
Real quick, I'll let you guys go. Let me get a word in. So remember I said it's about credibility. And I think the way you even try to describe certain things is probably the reason why we're having the problem even kind of like understanding how this case even devolved how it did. Like when people are mentioning her sexual history, it's not to shame her, this and third. It's about credibility, right? Also, for example, she has a habit about drinking. I drink a lot every day. Okay, this is not to shame her.
No, I know. I've seen you fall asleep listening to Drake. Yes, one of my favorite clips.
But here's the thing, though. If we mention her drinking, it's not to shame her habits or her possibly being an alcoholic. It's probably to say, she was in a state of mind that she could probably not remember these details accurately. For example, like what Myron said, when she stated the sequence of events, she did not recall leaving the party, then returning. But her friend said that happened. Again, it's not trying to be like,
but do you think not remembering whether you left the party and returned is of the same vein as like being fucking shot in the foot? Like, come on. Of course, small details like that can escape you in a lot of instances. That's why witness testimony is oftentimes murky. There's a big difference between going, I got fucking shot in the foot by that 5'2" man right there, and saying, oh, I might have left the party, I might not have left the party.
She never seen who pulled the trigger, and everybody else other testimony.
That's not true. That's not true. She testified. That's not true. She testified that she turned around.
No. She never said she's seen who pulled the trigger. She said
she literally turned around. She said, I turned my upper body around and saw Tory Lanez shooting.
No, she's never seen the trigger being pulled. She said she heard dance, bitch, dance. She looked over her shoulder. She seen Tory. Then she turned back around. I'll lock $1,000. We can lock on it. She never actually seen. So obviously, by circumstantial evidence, you'd assume it is Tory. However, going back to her state of mind and not remembering, though, according to the GSR report, Tory, if the gunfire happened at that moment, Tory had to be right next to Kelsey. They asked her, did you see when you turned your back and you heard that, did you see Kelsey anywhere near there? She said, never seen Kelsey. Kelsey was nowhere in the vicinity.
Can you tell me? By the way, wait. I already told you what happened in that regard. Megan Thee Stallion also said that she had turned around after hearing the voices. Also, Kelsey said she turned around as well. But listen. I have another question for you. But like,
so you're doing the thing and we move it.
Nah, bro.
No, because this is literally addressed in the court. Like, we're in a loop now. I'm trying to move the conversation along as best as possible. I'm trying to move the conversation along as quickly as possible because there's one additional thing. You said he made jail. You said he made phone calls from jail.
Yo, you said something that was obviously false. I am holding you to the fire saying that is false. You know what you do? Let's move to another point.
Wait. Okay, we can go back to that. What is it here? Go ahead. Sorry, you're right. I will have this conversation again. What is it? She
testified under oath that she believes Tory shot her, right? Because she saw him with the gun. She didn't see when he pulled the trigger. She saw him with the gun before.
No, she also did say that she turned around, like she was walking away from them, but when she heard noises, she did turn her upper body around. She did say that. She said that in court. In her testimony.
You're trying to say the same thing I am, but you're trying to twist it in your way. Yes.
Wait, what do you mean? No, she turned.
Hold on.
Okay, let's just find the quote. Let's just find the quote.
Bitch dance. If she heard, listen, gallop, bitch, gallop. If she heard whatever, did she see the bullets coming out of that gun? Was her eyes locked with the shooter? No. She said she saw Tory with the gun.
Bro, that's crazy. Okay, that's an insane. So what happened? Tory Lanez is a fucking acrobat and like he grabbed the gun out of Kelsey's hand in the fucking 5 seconds? Yeah, of course, dude. You know how fast bullets travel? It's kind of the whole point.
Okay, so you're now doing the theatrics.
Wait, no, of course, because I'm a normal human being with a normal human being brain. Obviously, when she says I turned around, I saw Tory with the gun. That's immediately after. After she got shot.
All right, so let me give you why that's relevant. Are you gonna let me explain?
Okay, I want to hear this. Yes, I want to hear why this is relevant.
Once again, it goes back to intoxication and her not remembering what happened. According to her, there was no there was a witness that testified that she got out of the car and she walked towards the passenger side. I forget on which side, but that's also in line with Sean Kelly, who said there was a fight. She claims she doesn't remember that. She only remembers walking away, then hearing "Dance Bitch Dance." The reason why I'm saying that, I'm not saying that she's just blatantly lied about that. I'm saying because her memory's now in question because of how inebriated she's at. Keep in mind, they also said, well, if you turned around.
Yeah, but it literally still, like, straight up fucking is corroborated by Kelsey's testimony originally. And you can't undermine it by claiming she pled the fifth.
Hasan, her original testimony does not matter.
Yes, it does. You can't just say it doesn't matter. Of course it matters.
Yo, Hasan, here are the facts, okay? She went in, she gave the police a statement in September of 2022, 2 years after the fact, and she went ahead and implicated Tory as the shooter. She went and corroborated a lot of Meg's story and said all this stuff to pin it on Tory. She gets on the stand, switches her story, says straight up, I lied. And then they asked, why did you lie? And she says, to protect myself.
No, she never said like straight up I lied. When you say that, you're making it seem like every part of her testimony was incorrect, which she got immunity to clarify for and still refused to do so. So you're
she openly said I lied in that interview earlier with the police.
I know, but there's multiple facets to that conversation. She's not directly pinpointing a singular piece of information that she said was incorrect. Okay.
Do you realize how ridiculous you sound if someone
is saying because if someone says, apples are red, okay, and then they say the sky is green in that interview, okay, and then they turn around and testify and say, actually, I lied about that interview. Does that mean apples are not red?
Oh, you don't get what I'm saying. If I said I lied about something, no matter what I lied about,
and she didn't even say she lied about something. She said that it was inconsistent with.
Even if okay, let's go with that. You don't think that you don't think your credibility is now in doubt, brother? You still think that that's a credible thing?
She said she was not 100% truthful and was given immunity so she could clarify her statements, which she refused to do. She did not do that. She also said she is currently under like a lot of pressure, which is understandable, and ultimately did not reveal any additional information, but she had the opportunity to say what she lied about and change her testimony, which she did not do. So of course, ultimately they used her original testimony. Okay?
Which is incredible because she said that she lied and it wasn't true. Like, bro,
you can't use that. It doesn't work like that. This is like evidence that has been gathered. You know, you've built cases before, right? Like, this is evidence that's been gathered. You can't just be like, okay, well, I guess we just throw the whole case away. Like, that's not how this works.
Oh man,
bro.
I mean, come on. That's not how this works at all. You know that. You know from your own personal experience, you know that that's not how this works.
The witness's credibility is everything, Hasan, okay? And the other thing, too, we could talk about the witnesses not being credible. We could talk about the lead detective being under investigation, having giglio issues, and being on admin leave. We could talk about how the police didn't properly secure the area and properly place evidence tags on all the bullet fragments and the blood, and they weren't able to get an actual trajectory of, a path of how Megan walked. We could talk about how Kelsey was sitting in the backseat behind Megan. Megan was sitting in the front seat. Tory was sitting in the back left passenger seat behind the driver. How would he have had time to go ahead and run around the corner, grab the gun, say, yeah, dance, bitch, dance, and then actually shoot her?
No, he shot from the open door. He shot from the open door of the car.
She said he was standing.
No.
See, that's another.
I'm trying to tell you, bro, there's holes all over the place where there's not necessarily a clear-cut situation. Also, there's a discrepancy. Hasan, let me finish. There's a discrepancy between what the prosecution said in the opening statements and Meg. And I'll go ahead and I'll read it for you because I went ahead and took some notes on this from before.
I have another question. I have two questions for you guys, right? One is about as far as Kelsey's testimony goes. As far as Kelsey's testimony goes, when Lane's
are you serious? Let me finish my point before you ask your question.
I know, but like I can't even get to this. There's like two statements now that I want to fucking talk about.
Hey.
We're gonna get to just let him finish. Like,
okay, go ahead.
The difference between me and you, Hasan, is that I listen to you speak and I understand it. That's why I'm able to.
Go ahead. You're right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
The discrepancy is this. Prosecutor said that Kelsey went to Meg after being shot. Then when Tory ran up to try to attack her, Kelsey got in the middle, fought Tory off, and he grabbed her by the hair. That's why her nail broke and her pendant broke, right? That's what the prosecution said in opening statement. However, Meg said when she got shot, Tory and Kelsey came at her at the same time, and she didn't make any mention of them actually fighting. So that's a huge discrepancy there.
No, that's not no, that is literally not a discrepancy. She not revealing that piece of information might be for any million different fucking reasons, given the adrenaline-packed circumstance and the fact that she turned around and saw who had the gun. If you're getting shot at and you see who has the fucking gun, who shot you with, okay, who you got shot with, the gun that you got shot with, then obviously like that's what you're hyper-focusing on, okay? That is totally understandable. That does not make her like a non-credible witness. This standard, if this standard was applied to every single court case, literally no one would get jailed for murder. I hope you understand that. Like, there is no situation. The only thing that would be additional evidence on this would be just video footage of Tory Lanez shooting Megan Thee Stallion going, dance, bitch, dance. And even then, I feel like you'd probably still defend it. Now, having said that, going back to what I was talking about, there are two instances that I wanted to mention, including the text message that Tory Lanez sent to Megan Thee Stallion. That was not actually a phone conversation from jail. That was a text message that Tory Lanez actually sent to Megan Thee Stallion saying, I apologize. I'm so sorry how things happen. I can't remember. It was not on a jail phone. It was not actually like a snitch situation. And in that circumstance, you would absolutely say something like, oh, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe that shit happened, rather than saying, oh, I'm so sorry, Meg, I know you're probably never going to talk to me again, but I genuinely want you to know I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart, and I was just too drunk. Nonetheless, shit should have never happened, and I can't change what I did. I just feel horrible. You think after Megan Thee Stallion got shot, you think that like that's a text message that you're sending to a human being? We're talking reason, okay? Within the bounds of reason. You think you're sending that text message to be like, oh man, it's so crazy. I revealed your information. Or do you think you'd be like, how crazy was it that, Kelsey fucking shot you? Because this is between two parties that are still trying to make amends.
Okay, Hasan, I already addressed this text message when I was going through the evidence. I told you that there's reasons why he could be apologizing. It could have been for him hitting on Kylie Jenner in front of her. It could have been on him getting a fight started between.
But Megan Thee Stallion got shot. You know what I mean? she got shot. I feel like that's something you would address first, right?
Okay, I get that. But there were so many things that.
Okay, good. You get that. You understand that. Okay, good. I just wanted to mention that because it's not even like completely relevant to the conversation, like I said, because it's not evidence. You can't use this as evidence that like Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion for sure. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because like we're just having a conversation between two guys within like common reason, and reasonable boundaries would also, reasonable boundaries would also dictate that you would most likely talk about the main issue at hand. Someone getting shot.
I understand that, Hasan, but what I am saying is that there were so many things that happened negatively to Megan that night that he could have apologized for any of it. That's, by your logic, that means if you tell someone my condolences or I'm sorry for your loss, that means that you were the murderer or the shooter of that person that deceased. I'm saying he's if I shot someone and then they survived and I said I'm sorry for what I did that night, yeah, it kind of seems like I shot that person. We're having a conversation that's reasonable. Yes, if I said I can't change what I did, he basically said everything but I'm sorry I shot you, okay? And you're still looking at that and going, no, there's a million different reasons. What if he was sorry because he actually said a no word? What if he was sorry because he actually revealed that he wanted to fuck Kylie Jenner that night? Like, bro, she got shot. Of course he's talking about how he shot her. Come on. That's what you're coming to the conclusion of. But what I'm saying is that a bunch of things happened to Meg that night. He could have apologized for a multitude of reasons. I've outlined this before.
By the way, like I said, it's not even admissible in court. It's just like funny to see you defend this.
I get that. No, but what I'm saying, but that's the point, bro. The defense's job is to create reasonable doubt. We don't know what he apologized for. It could have been him hitting on Kylie. It could have been him starting the fight between him and Kelsey, her and Kelsey getting in a fist fight.
Okay. Can you say that? Can you write that out real quick? I'm sorry that we got into a fight on the night that like the girl that you were seeing, let's say, got shot by another girl. That's what you're saying. Like you're actually texting that text message. You're saying, I'm sorry for how I conducted myself when you got shot. Is that's you would say that, you think?
Dude, what I would do versus what happened to Tory are two different things. I'm saying he could have apologized for a multitude of reasons. You're just saying he apologized because he shot her. No, there was a bunch of things that came out that night that no one knew about. For example,
but Kelsey, the main thing is that she got shot. I don't think she gives a fuck about Kylie Jenner at that point. Like her feet are bleeding.
Let me stop for 2 seconds and listen, because the difference between me and you is I listen very closely to everything you say. You don't listen to anything that I say. Okay. You got to understand that when Tory said, yo, Meg, just so you know, you backstabbed your friend. You were fucking on me. You were fucking on the baby, etc. That was the first time that Kelsey heard that information. Okay, so she obviously felt some type of way. They're all drunk. Emotions are high. Then all three of them are arguing in the love triangle. Kelsey did not know that information until Tory exposed it, and he embarrassed the fuck out of Meg. So that is what led to the physical altercation between Kelsey and Meg. They were best friends prior to the situation. So there's a multitude of reasons why Tory might be apologizing. It does not necessarily have to be.
So if they had a physical altercation and Kelsey shot her, why did she blame Tory Lanez?
Bro, that also can be explained. It could have been she was trying to take away some responsibility from herself. It could have been, I need to pin this on somebody.
You think if she got shot, she would have to describe her position? No, she would have been like, I got fucking shot by this crazy bitch. Come on, dude. You're crazy. No, in your mind, that's how that works. But that's not how that works in the fucking court of law. If she got shot by Kelsey and they fought and they fucking hate one another, clearly she's going to be like, I got shot by this crazy bitch Kelsey. Lock her up.
No, she wouldn't, because they were best friends prior. She was probably trying to protect Kelsey. Why would she not? She would not.
So why is she not? But that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. That like there was instances where she could have immediately turned around and be like, oh yeah, actually Kelsey's the one who's responsible. Like your own logical box that you have created doesn't make sense when you ask like 3 or 4 questions about motives of people that you're not hyper focusing on.
Listen, this is common sense, bro. The video,
like, why is Tory protecting Kelsey? Why is Megan protecting Kelsey when Kelsey's the one who shot Megan in that circumstance? Like, it makes no sense.
You didn't see, bro. Like, she wouldn't even know. She just looked. All she heard was dance, bitch. If that was the case, then why did Kelsey say, did you hear the words dance, bitch? She said, now where'd you hear that from? That was her verbatim answer to that.
Okay, yeah, she didn't hear the words dance, bitch. Fine, okay, that's fine.
I mean,
but you're not responding to my question. Why would Megan Thee Stallion defend Kelsey despite being shot, even if they are no longer friends? And they're no longer friends. You know what I mean?
Because who's the bigger enemy?
You think what? That's crazy. The bigger enemy is the person who shot her. Okay, like in a situation, that's crazy that you think that like a person could literally be like, oh my God, I got shot by this woman, but I fucking hate Tory Lanez more. That's an insane inference, dude. Come on, please use common sense.
Meg only named Tory after Meg basically came out and said, "I'm tired of sparing you." He said, "One more lie, I'm tired of sparing you." She tweeted this. This was basically her thinking that blogs and media were trying to portray her as either part of the melee that happened that night or making it seem like she
because she got shot.
Okay, no, I'm not. You're saying the obvious, my guy. But I'm trying to tell you when she named Tory. I'm trying to tell you when she named Tory and why she had a reason to name him. She had a reason to name him because she felt that the media was kind of painting her in a situation where she was lumping them with her and also making her seem to be the bad guy. So she then basically threatened. Then she said, she went on live. She said, Tory shot me. Okay? Criminal charges never came till then. So if you're wondering,
wait. You're talking about the IG live where Megan Thee Stallion says Tory Lanez shot her. Okay. That was like that was August 20th though. You made it seem like it took her years to fucking admit this.
It was at least a month.
Yeah, that's not all that much time. What do you mean? If she got shot and her original original reasoning in this situation was to like get away from the situation, if her original a month, like what do you mean?
If someone shot you, would you wait a month to tell the police?
I mean, she already, actually, as a matter of fact, I wouldn't. But Megan Thee Stallion explained why she did.
She waited a month because of what? Because she talked to them 4 days later, too. What happened?
Wait, she waited a fucking month because during that entire timeline, people were, as you already said, literally blaming her for fucking being shot and putting the responsibility on her after she got fucking shot. That's crazy. She did not originally want to fucking snitch. Maybe because she's a rapper, like you guys also said, there's a rapper code. She didn't want to snitch. She didn't want to fucking snitch on Tory Lanez. But after people fucking constantly push you to the goddamn brink and you're literally the victim in that circumstance, yeah, of course you're going to fucking come out and say, like, yeah, what the fuck is this shit? I got shot by Tory Lanez and you motherfuckers are claiming that I'm the responsible party when my feet got bullet holes in them.
Well, again, I'm answering your statement of why wouldn't she possibly say, let's say it was Kelsey. Why wouldn't she come out and just say Kelsey?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't. Hold on a second. You jumped the gun too much. Hold on. I'm telling you, she didn't come out to say Tory either. The reason why she came out to say Tory is because she felt Tory was playing games with the media. So hold on. So it's fair to assume that her calling his name was a direct result of what she felt he was doing, not that she came to some type of, I'm ready to speak. So now when you say, well, why wouldn't she name Kelsey? Kelsey isn't a star. Kelsey has no type of power and control over the media or the narrative. Again, why, if you waited that long, even if it was Kelsey, why say anything? Kelsey can't affect your career, can't affect the narrative, but who can? Tory Lanez. I hope you understood that.
That's great. You think she got clout off of fucking... If she was going to get clout, she could have fucking jumped the gun from the start.
Brother.
Then she would have just said what happened that night.
Hasan, your listening skills are so crazy, brother.
You don't listen. You don't listen. That's the problem.
My dude, you said one thing. I'm going to repeat what you said. You said, if it was Kelsey that shot her, why would she just say Kelsey? So I reminded you. Well, she didn't say Tory till at least over a month later. Then I reminded you.
Well, she was shot. She was shot. So she can't lie about being shot because she was.
Brother, hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. She named someone a month later. It's important. Why did she name someone at that juncture?
Because everyone kept fucking blaming her for being shot. And that is why she admitted who was actually the person who's responsible. She also She also literally explained why she did not name Tory Lanez originally. Her friend was the one who named Tory that night, though.
We're talking about why did she name him a month later. This is why you got to listen more and read more, my brother.
Oh my God!
I'm trying to tell you because it's clear. I'll make a bet with you. You won't make it because you're not that informed. You just keep saying the obvious. But you were shot, brother. We know this. You're gonna say that for the 15,000th time.
I know, but your inferences are incorrect. You're making like you're stretching. You're stretching harder than the fucking gymnastics team. That's why it's ridiculous to me.
Wait, hold on.
I keep trying to ground you with like actual facts from the case.
Go back to your point. You said if she got shot by Kelsey, why wouldn't she just say it? I'm bringing you step by step why she said Tory and when she did. She did not say
because Tory Lanez is the what is it? Give me the steps again.
So you're not listening.
I am, but it makes no fucking sense. I have to hear it a million times. Go on. Because I responded to it. And you said that's not what I meant. So go on. Please clarify.
She believed that Tory and his influence was playing games and making her look a certain way. Keep in mind, that would not be the same for Kelsey, right? That's why she was incentivized to name Tory when she did.
That makes no sense. And here's why. Okay, are you ready? Here's why.
She says lie one more time, and I'm gonna just say it.
Here's why that makes no sense. Because Tory Lanez is like playing games with her or whatever. She could just easily turn around and be like, Kelsey shot me, because there's only 2 people involved in the process. If she had come out and said, Kelsey shot me, Tory Lanez would no longer, by your own logic, play games with her. What is Tory going to say? Turn around and be like, actually, no, it was me who shot Megan? Fuck no. That would have ended the conversation. Because if Kelsey had shot her, she would have just fucking said that. But Tory shot her. And that's why she said, Tory Lanez shot me. This is an insane thing. It's such a major stretch that it literally could not filter through my brain.
But you are literally using like a mental block, or you're doing mental gymnastics not to understand.
What? Why would she just...
Hear what I'm saying. You initially said, I'm only going off what you said. Why wouldn't she name Kelsey? Well, actually, she wasn't trying to name anyone. Okay? Even if you go back to her Gayle King interview, which you...
but like, you understand, what was Tory Lanez lying about? What was Tory Lanez lying about at the time?
Wait, hold on. You won't even let me finish. Not only did she reference it in her Gayle King interview, she referenced it even when she got on live. She said, I wouldn't have even said nothing. I was going to let it go. Okay? So again, when you said, why wouldn't she name Kelsey? It seems like she was never going to name Kelsey, even if it was Kelsey. Okay?
What? No, that you can't make that. You literally just leaped into that. Okay? If Kelsey shot her, the most logical thing for her to say is Kelsey fucking shot me. Tory Lanez is just lying for some weird reason. I don't know why. And what is Tory Lanez going to do in that situation? Be like, no, actually, Kelsey didn't shoot her. Megan shot herself. Or, no, actually, Kelsey didn't shoot her. I shot her. No, that would have fucking destroyed any argument that anyone could have ever had. The reason why she came out and said Tory Lanez shot me is because fucking Tory Lanez shot her. That's it. And this is a wild, these are wild leaps to make. I'm serious. Like, these are wild leaps to make. Like, I'm trying as best as I possibly can to try to like comprehend where you're coming from with this, but like there's so much motivated reasoning playing a role in your assertions here that like it's hard to like, you know, get in there. It's hard to like get through your armor a little bit.
I'm going off what you're saying.
Women can't lie. That's the problem. That's
no,
why you
women
can't.
Of course lie. Women lie all the time. Everyone lies. Human beings are liars. This is a fucking bullshit straw man that everyone's like, oh, you're a SJW. Women can't lie. Of course women can lie. What the fuck do you mean?
Okay, and Megan's lied plenty of times, and I'm saying that the whole case was based on her testimony. You're saying I believe her, but she got shot though.
You're like failing to comprehend this thing. It's not like Megan went and said Tory Lanez is doing tax evasion. You know what I mean? She fucking
shot her though. She doesn't know who shot her.
That's
she really
not
doesn't.
True. She does know who shot her. And every single counter that you brought up about like why she didn't name Kelsey is ridiculous. It falls flat on its fucking feet.
She lied in her testimony several times. She did not admit that they got into a physical altercation, which again is very important to the story. right?
Why is it important to the story? You think it was self-defense? You think like Tory Lanez was shot her because like it was self-defense? Is that what you think?
Because if she doesn't admit that her and Kelsey got into a physical altercation right before the shots were fired, guess what it does? It paints Tory as the probable shooter.
Oh my God! But you're still making the argument that like she somehow has reason to defend Kelsey even though Kelsey fucking shot her, which is insane. Okay,
bro,
like that's insane. If someone shoots you, okay. If someone shoots you, in that situation, I'd probably fucking tell the cops, okay? You can call me a snitch. There are many instances where I am a victim of shit and I don't fucking, I do not collaborate with the police, okay? But this is one of those instances where I'd be like, okay, well, I got shot by this motherfucker.
Bro, this comes down to credibility. Okay?
Credible witness. She was drunk.
Remember, this comes down to credibility, right? Now, granted, okay, like I know you're gonna say the same dumb 3 things that we're kind of agreeing with, but just listen to my train of thought. Just think you're a juror for 1 second. You're trying to make shit make sense. I think there's a reason why both Kelsey and Meg both conveniently forgot when they may have fought each other, even though an eyewitness said they were fighting for several minutes. They both misremembered that exact part. Okay. Now, granted, I think in the defense side, that part is very important if you're trying to cast doubt, right? If it seems like a woman's just walking away and you shoot her, you seem very malicious, and it just seems like it's open and shut.
Okay.
But if there was a fight that was happening for minutes,
bro, for this, okay, that makes sense. But here's what doesn't make sense. Okay, for this to work, Megan Thee Stallion would have to hate Tory Lanez more than the fucking person that she fought who shot her. And that is insane. Okay? That's my point. And that's wild. You cannot connect those 2 dots. Okay? Like you're literally saying like she hates men so much that she wanted to blame a man or something.
So there's a video, right? After the incident happened, the police showed up. You can hear Kelsey saying clearly, Meg, are you okay? Meg, are you okay? So they were still friends at that point. So they even though they fought, they were not like enemies. So what's the best option here? You know what? As girls, let's talk. You know what? Tory's the one that's being left out here. We're still friends. Let's put it on Tory. Pretty much, bro. That's it. They're friends still at that point. So it's like, bro, your argument, I get it, but they're still friends at that point.
Okay. I mean, I got no. You owned me, man. I got nothing on that. You got me. You got me. You killed it straight up.
Strong appeal here. Tory has a very strong appeal. Yeah. And
okay. Well, good luck to him. Look, I don't want to see. Look, I'm not too fond of the criminal justice system in general. I do think that he did it. I do think that he deserves to go to prison for at least a extended period of time. He definitely. I think he fucked up. If I'm going to be as charitable as possible, ultimately though, Megan Thee Stallion did get shot.
This team fucked up, raising reasonable doubt.
No, I don't think so. I think like in order for there to be a little bit more clarity in that circumstance, it would literally have to just straight up fucking be video evidence. Like at that point, that's it. Okay. By the way, I was being sarcastic. I don't know if that dude recognized that or not, but but it's fine. Love you guys. Thank you so much for this. Okay.
Hey, listen. Number one, I do say I accept the verdict. I thought there was a pretty decent job done with raising, reasonable doubt. Clearly not to the jury, and it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
listen, you came for your content. You got your content now. Hope you're happy. And your trolling was hilarious, by the way. So thank you for
okay,
trolling.
listen. You're the one who asked to be on this call. Okay, like I mean, I'm fine with having a conversation with you, debating you or whatever you want. But like, it's not like I was like, oh, please bring the Fresh and Fit boys in here. I know. Especially, wait, which one is Fresh and which one's Fit? With the one.
I've been talking with Akademiks about this for the better part of a week. We've been covering this case. So
yeah, no, I know. I really wanted the fucking content from you guys. I was like, please, DJ Ak, please bring him. No, that's not what happened. You wanted to come on, which is fine. You're like Akademiks felt like he wasn't doing a good job. He didn't feel like he was doing a good job. It's fine. It's cool. But I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. Like I'm gonna troll a little bit. Come on.
No, Hasan.
I mean, when you're taking L's on arguments, you take ad hominem attacks. You're supposed to be a master debater. You couldn't keep it factual.
I am not a master debater. I suck at debates. I don't know where that came from. I don't like debates. I'm not very good at debates. Everybody keeps saying that I am, but I'm not. I don't think. Unless it's like Andrew Tate. He's just very bad at debates. So.
Do you think Charlie Kirk got you or not?
No, absolutely not.
The argument about better drivers was also comical as well.
Oh, here we fuck. Okay, look. We can have this conversation at a different time, but I can't spend 6 hours talking to you guys. All right, I got some other stuff that I need to cover.
Oh yes,
you got to be honest. You've been
facts.
What did you say, Ak?
You kind of been ducking. Every time I mention Myron, like you were like,
it's because the reason why I do debates when I end up doing them, I guess, is often because I think like someone has really damaging ideas and they're able to spread those damaging ideas to like a very large audience, right? And it's more so, it's not even like to stop the spread of said ideas, right? It's not like I'm calling for deplatforming or anything, but it's more so to just like address them adequately so people have a better understanding of like what the other side's perspective is, right? And so the reason why I will like debate someone like Andrew Tate is because like, I mean, he's all over the place. People will turn around and say, oh, that's clout sharking or whatever the fuck. And to them, I say, well, that is what matters in this circumstance. I want to temper someone's influence and at least like show that there's a different perspective on a large enough platform. And I guess this is a long way of saying that like Fresh and Fit didn't have enough clout for me to like address them. There was a time when they did though.
Me and Andrew literally said we would debate you two, you and Ethan, gladfully on intersexual dynamics, and you guys ducked it and said, no, we're not going to do that, blah, blah, blah.
I've never said that. That is not a factually accurate statement. I don't know why you're saying that. But as you can tell, I am perfectly willing and able to hold a conversation with you. I don't know what happened with the Ethan thing, but I was always very much down to have a conversation. I don't know where you got that from.
You're the one that talks about us first, bro. We never mentioned you not one time. It was you making a bunch of hit pieces on us, dude.
Well, when I first started, I mean, I don't know if you're talking about like me and Ethan together, but like when I first saw you guys were popping. I would have definitely debated you back then. I'm saying now, not so much. So I was like, it's not worth my time.
We're more popping than you are, bro. What are you talking about? We're more popping than you are.
This thinker, bro.
Okay. I mean, that's great. I'm happy for you guys' success. I haven't seen it, but if I do, I will, I'll hit you guys up.
That's because you're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We've been on YouTube 2 years, bro, and we're almost as many subscribers as you. What are you talking about? We're definitely popping.
No, I mean, congratulations to you guys. Like I said, when you guys have like a big enough influence, or if you have like a big enough audience, like Andrew Tate did at the time, then we can have a conversation. You know what I mean?
I told you, us and Andrew would debate y'all, and you guys still ran. So what is this excuse, bro? Y'all still ran because when it comes to intersexual dynamics,
my friend, I'm telling you what the reasons are. I don't want to debate you on like why I already told you I was not interested. You know what I mean? That's like kind of defeating the purpose.
You make this on us. We've never once talked shit about you until you started talking shit about us. You came at us first.
Big facts.
So you want to start it? I'll finish it.
Yeah, because you had a lot of fucking videos that were popping at the time. A lot of people were spreading it and going, "Oh my god, what is this Fresh and Fit guys doing?" It doesn't happen anymore. That's part of the reason. You know what I mean? That's literally the main reason, as a matter of fact.
Cool. You're not really here to argue topics or ideas.
No, I just don't think it's like damaging enough. Like I don't think you're doing enough damage to discourse that I'm like. There are plenty of people who are much better debaters than myself. I would say Destiny is one of those people. Like I'm sure you guys can duke it out all day, every day. Do that. But
I showed the difference between us and H3. Y'all ran, bro. Y'all ran.
I'm not Ethan Klein. I don't know why you keep saying us in H3. I don't think I've ever gotten a DM from you.
Okay. All right, man. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God.
We've definitely communicated that we could have this discussion. I mean,
I'm down. Right like I said, I'm down. Get your clout up. If there's like enough, if you guys are doing enough damage to the discourse, then I'll have a conversation with you guys directly. How about that?
Backhanded compliment, though. Come on,
bro, you are not as popping as you think you are. You are delusional if you think so, bro.
I'm not competent. I'm not. If that's what you're saying, I don't think I'm a competent debater anyway. There's better debaters than me out there.
you're not just a cloud farmer, because I've seen you talk about situations and ideas that are from very small creators.
Well, because it's not about clout. It's about the damage being done to the discourse in general.
That's what it's about. It's about fear. You are scared right now because you understand that when it comes to intersexual dynamics, you are incompetent. Just like talking about this trial, you are incompetent. You don't know all the details, yet you're still speaking. The difference between me and you is I don't speak on something unless I know it.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy because you were very confidently talking about the Fifth Amendment, which you definitely did not understand. So it seems to me like you are talking about things you don't know anything about. Also, your co-host talks about women all the time. I feel like he has no idea. Like if I were to ask, if I wanted to learn about how women are, I think you guys are the last people I would go to get advice.
Really?
Yes, dude.
Okay.
Anyway, look. There are bigger and more successful misogynists that I'm willing to debate. It's all the same shit anyway. But when you guys get the clout up, like,
arguments are weak, bro. You literally said women are better drivers because they have cheaper insurance rates to Andrew, which is
all right. Look, we'll do this. We'll do this at a later date. All right, guys. Like I said, I have so much. I have a long list of things I gotta talk about. I gave you guys like 6 hours, man.
All right, dude, it's fine. You can run, but we are way more relevant than you are.
I'm running. Dude, I believe you. I believe you. Congratulations on your success.
Us first. We never talked about you. All right?
Bro, what are you doing? You're like a grown-ass man. You're about to cry on this fucking phone call because I don't want to fucking talk to you any longer. Jesus Christ, dude. Holy shit. Didn't you like lock up Muslim people and shit back in the day? You should be a little bit more ruthless than this. God damn. Holy fuck.
I'm keeping it factual, bro.
Very emotional, bro.
You are keeping it factual with holding back tears over here because I don't want to fucking talk to you guys any longer than the fucking 4 hours that I gave you. Holy shit.
You don't know about the Fifth Amendment. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not. This is out of your wheelhouse. I literally explained the Fifth Amendment. You cannot assert the Fifth Amendment unless you reasonably believe that you will be prosecuted for said crime. Kelsey is not.
If a girl chirped me this hard, the conversation would have been over. I guess I am sexist for giving you this much time.
Hasan, you did do the same thing to Tate. You kind of bulldozed the conversation. Hey, listen.
Oh, dude. Don't even get me started about Tate. The motherfucker's like lying, saying I'm like running from him and shit. He was like, oh, I won that debate. And he won't debate me again. It's like, that's not true. I will fucking gladly debate Andrew Tate again.
Oh, you just overtalk people. Stop the cap. And you don't know what you're talking about for the most of the part. And it's funny because, dude, you run from us many times.
Bro, what is this guy saying? Oh, my God, bro.
Hey, hold on. You would debate Andrew Tate again?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'd do it.
Stop the cap,
bro.
That's not
on one end,
you guys. Why would I run away from this dude? He literally he had to get out of the conversation. He's like, these people are not intimidating. Okay, they're not. Their ideas are not great, and their rhetoric is not great either. Guys, boys, I have to pee. Okay, this is very real. Okay, I've held it in for far too long.
Go sit down and pee like you normally do.
Look, I don't have the peanut gallery like the Fed and the other dude have that like I can pee in his mouth real quick. You know what I mean?
Go sit down and pee, man. I don't know why you're still here. Then go sit down and pee.
Put a blanket down too,
bro. You're literally an adult. Come on, you're talking about like juvenile ass fucking comebacks. You sit down and pee. What's next, bro? I got long hair, like a girl. Is that what you're gonna say? What do I got cooties, dude.
You've been talking shit.
I'm here, bro.
Go sit down and pee, bro. Go sit down and pee. Or we can have a discussion. Either or.
You said go sit down and pee, dude. You have to have like better take. You talk for a living. You talk on a podcast for a living. I feel bad. I feel like I'm getting like secondhand embarrassment from a person who talks for a living. Only being able to retaliate with like literal 12-year-old insults. Like you're like a playground bully. You're like, oh, you sit down and pee. Come on. You can be a little bit more creative. Not your co-host. I mean, he's gone. I don't think he's got anything in him. But you at least could be a little bit more creative. You know what I mean?
My point is this, dude. You've been talking shit about us for over a year. I'm here, right now. You made a nonsensical argument with Andrew as far as insurance rates are what make female drivers better, which is a ridiculous argument to make in the first place. It doesn't make sense. You call us misogynist, etc. I'm here. We can have this discussion, but you want to say, I got to go pee. Then fine. Go sit down and pee. Go leave the stream, and it's fine. It's no big deal. Hasan and I can talk about the kid. But you've been wrong on a
listen. We'll bring this back up on a later date when I'm like running out of content or something, because it is entertaining. You guys are very entertaining.
That's cool, man.
Okay.
But again,
it's cute that you still want to talk to me. It is very nice. But I know you might get separation anxiety, but I really gotta go. Okay. Thank you, DJ Akademiks. Thank you so much.
No, hold on. It is kind of fair that if you call them misogynist, that's like a heavy
bro. Stop. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Stop trying to pull me back in.
Stand on what you said. If you're gonna talk shit, like I said before, we're here now. You started it. I will be glad to finish it. But you want to run and piss? Go ahead.
You can't do it. Fine. You can't do it.
It's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead and piss.
Yes.
But again,
you guys are right. I'm terrified.
Trials. Don't go out like this, bro. Don't go out like this, bro.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I gotta go. Thank you guys. We'll do this at a later time. You know what? It doesn't matter. Clout doesn't matter. I will have a conversation with you guys again. Okay, I promise. I've said it on. Look, clip it. Okay, I've said it in front of thousands of people. Okay, you can hold this against me if I don't talk to you again. Okay, I promise. There will eventually be a moment. There will eventually be a moment where I don't have enough fucking content and it's like kind of boring and slow, and I will talk to you again.
You could have left. You could have had a discussion by now.
You peed your pants, big boy.
You keep talking about I gotta pee, but you're still here, bro. You can leave.
Okay. All right. We're gonna do it again. I clipped it. Okay, in good faith. I'm just letting you know that I will have this conversation again. Bye, guys.
Hasan, I won't let him talk to you like that, bro. I'm just
all right. Yeah. I mean, I'm an adult. I might not have Mr. 35-year-old's hairline yet, but I am an adult, so All right, I'm done. They can talk all their shit all they want here. Listen to them talk shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm an adult. I might not have Mr. 35-year-old's hairline yet, but I am an adult. So,
from one Rutgers alumni to another, I'm just saying, we can't take this type of conversation, bro. I'm just saying, bro. He left.
Running. Turn it to Goku instant transmission, which is fine. It's fine.